Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. I'm guest presenting with these incredible
I step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning Expresso. I feel good today. It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Woohoo! Welcome to it. I don't know where that woohoo came from.
No, I love it for you.
Hey, come on, girl.
Good morning.
We were sitting whining, complaining about how tired we are. Then the cameras come on, the lights come on. We see your beautiful faces, and boom.
Yeah.
No, actually, that's when I saw your face.
Oh my goodness, Graham. It's
Yay.
I'm just so happy to be here today. Good morning, South Africa. Finally, I get to visit such an incredible show.
Yay, man. Our sister show is kind of taking over a little bit this morning. We love our Afternoon Express fam, and of course, Pali is going to be here. And joining us in the kitchen is Chef Tumi. We cannot wait to have you guys play along. We're going to have a lot of fun this morning, and we're going to get you covered from every single angle, getting the basic essential tips with interior designer Dylan Tomage to whipping up some delicious recipes in the kitchen, and of course, being a Wednesday, it's time for the culinary heartland. Bling!
I can
ting, ting, ting. So it is going to be amazing, and of course, we've got Mallory Jane to perform just for you this morning. Going to blow your mind. An unbelievably talented group of individuals here to perform just for you. Are you
Absolutely.
ready?
So much to look forward to, Graham. I'm locked, I am loaded. I'm ready for nothing but the best in music, entertainment and news. Speaking of which, let's catch up with Utabzi Wabzi.
Looking so debonair this morning.
Listen, locked and loaded we are. It's a brand new day. Good morning, it's Uncle Tabzi here for duty on this beautiful Wednesday morning. Thank you very much for joining us for this midweek Feel Good. Now, let's get our first posts out on our Facebook. The thing is, life gets so busy, guys. I mean, let's be honest. We get so busy. And I'm asking you this morning, when you get busy, as life does, there's always that one person that we rely on. They're always around, they're always guiding us, always making sure that we can count on them. Who in your family are you grateful for today? It's all about gratitude on this beautiful Wednesday morning, and I know that there certainly is someone, whether they're your loved one in your family or a friend of yours, that you know you can always count on when it just feels like it's a bit much. Use that hashtag Expresso Show. Time for us now to get our official duties underway. It's Graham with the news.
Thank you so much, Tabzi. Let's start here in South Africa and our national news front. The National Director of Public Prosecutions, Shamila Batohi, said the National Prosecuting Authority, or the NBA, plans to approach the National Treasury to create a trust fund. So Batohi says the purpose of the trust fund is to allow private donors, such as businesses, to donate money to help the MPA with its work. Batohi told a Parliament Standing Committee on Public Accounts that it was not a new idea for the government to work with businesses to combat crime. Meanwhile, the MPA says it has recovered some 275 million rand lost due to fraud and corruption. The MPA addressed Parliament on matters referred by the Special Investigation Unit for prosecution, and the money was recovered in collaboration with state agencies such as SARS. The Deputy National Director of Public Prosecutions, Rodney de Kock, said almost 1,000 cases were now ready for prosecution as well. He said most of the money was recovered by freezing bank accounts. This proves the usefulness of cooperation between government entities, he added. Now, casting a wider net on the international news front, Israel has clinched a $500 billion deal to supply Morocco with an air defense system. The contract with Israel Aerospace follows the signing last November of a memorandum of understanding on defense cooperation between the two countries. This includes the Barak MX air and missile defense systems, and the Barak MX is supported by radar and various launchers for the best deterrent against combat aircraft, helicopters, cruise missiles, ground-to-air missile and ground-to-ground missiles. Morocco agreed to normalize relations with Israel in a U.S. brokered deal in late 2020. Then Vladimir Putin yesterday said that Russia does not want war in Europe, but that his security concerns must be taken seriously. Putin had just held a 4-hour meeting with Germany's Chancellor Olaf Scholz, who was the latest Western leader to visit the region in an attempt to de-escalate tensions on the Ukrainian border. Ukraine is a former Soviet republic, and Putin wants assurances that it will not join the Western NATO military alliance because he sees any expansion of it as a threat to Russia. NATO, of course, has rejected Putin's demand. Then, never in his 92 years did Malawian musician Giddies Shalamanda ever dream of one day being famous enough to dine with the president. But thanks to his unlikely new stardom on TikTok, a social media platform he can't access because he lacks a smartphone. Amazing. Shalamanda's ode, Lenny Who, is to his daughter, received some 80 million views on the video sharing site. Incredible. This fame also brought him to the attention of Malawi's President Lazarus Chakwera, who threw a party for Shalamanda's 92nd birthday at the State House in Lilongwe. He said, and we quote, "It was such an honor, and the president asked me about my opinion on Malawi's music industry and the arts." He also received a blanket and a pair of leather shoes from Chakwera, and they sang one of Shalamanda's songs together, Izimayi Malawi, which means Woman of Malawi. In his State of the Nation address last Thursday, the president at one point said, "Ours is no ordinary nation. Ours is the home of the fine sounds of Giddies Shalamanda." On that very positive note, as we leave our news headlines for this hour, at least let's delve into our sport. So let's kick it off with football, and Kylian Mbappe, he netted a 94th minute winner to secure a 1-0 win for PSG against Real Madrid in their first leg of their Champions League round of 16 clash last night. The hosts dominated the clash and could have gone 1-0 up before that when Mbappe was brought down in the box to give Lionel Messi the chance to score from the spot. Messi, though, had a spot kick saved by Courtois, diving low to his left. Mbappe, who was the best player on the night, undoubtedly was at it again in the latter stages, and his weaving run was expertly slotted past the Belgian to give his team the eventual win. Elsewhere, Man City, they continued their incredible form with a 5-0 thrashing on the road against Sporting. Bernardo Silva scoring a brace, while Raheem Sterling, Riyad Mahrez and Phil Foden all finding the back of the net as well in a dominant display. The round of 16 action continues tonight with Liverpool away to Inter Milan, Bayern Munich then facing Salzburg. And bringing it back home for more footballing news, Kaizer Chiefs are looking to bounce back from their weekend exit from the Nedbank Cup, the hands of TX Galaxy, but they were unable to assert themselves against what looked like makeshift Cape Town City side last night, ultimately salvaging a draw, 0-0 that final score there. At the same time, Maritzburg United picked up a revenge victory over Supersport United. The teams met last week in the Nedbank Cup in a match which Masantswana, they stole a 1-0 win very late in the game with a strike from Ikram Reyners. This time it was the team of choice who tasted victory thanks to goals from Friday Samu Rowan Human in a 2-1 win. The day's action opened with a late afternoon kickoff where Royal AM, they continued to make waves in their debut top flight season, securing a 1-0 win over Sekokune United. Now on to rugby news. The first ever home United Rugby Championship match for the Stormers and overseas team will not be played at Cape Town's regular home venue of the Cape Town Stadium. So with the Cape Town cycle tour due to take place the same day and the finish scheduled for the same Greenpoint precinct that we of course find the stadium, Western Province has been forced to change the venue of the clash with Zebre on Sunday the 13th of March to the Donny Craven Stadium in Stellenbosch. A switch of date to Saturday was not possible due to a URC rule that stipulates that there is to be an 8-day gap between matches for teams that play cross-hemisphere fixtures and have to travel from their home base overseas. The match will be the Stormers' first ever competitive match in Stellenbosch. Then finally on to tennis news. Novak Djokovic has said he would rather miss out on future tennis trophies than be forced to get a COVID vaccine. Speaking exclusively to the BBC, he said missing competitions such as the French Open over his jab status was the price that I'm willing to pay. And that was, of course, a quote. The 20-time Grand Slam winner was deported from Australia last month after the government cancelled his visa in a row over his vaccine status. The world's #1 men's tennis player also said he should not not be associated with the anti-vax movement, but supported an individual's right to choose. Well, that's where we leave our sporting headlines for this hour. We'll touch on them again at 7. Let's get you set for the day ahead with the weather and take a look at some of your beautiful sunrise pictures.
Thank you very much, Chiba, and time for us to take that first look at the weather and those stunning sunrise pictures. Now, a quick update from the South African Weather Service that's issued a yellow level 1 warning for thunderstorms with heavy downpours. That's going to be out in the Eastern Cape today. It was warned that major storms could be expected as from 2 p.m. and could continue throughout the day. Now, the Weather Service said that there was a possibility as well that the expected thunderstorms may become severe, and this as the province is still recovering from previous inclement weather that saw parts completely submerged. And now in December and January, widespread damage from thunderstorms and flash floods, those were incurred and were experienced in those areas. And at least 6 people succumbed and more than 1,000 homes were destroyed. A number of businesses, clinics, as well as hospitals, they were also damaged in the process. And those affected were helped by the gift of the givers. And now we turn our gaze to those beautiful sunrise pictures that you have sent through on our Facebook, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. First up, we've got Kamida Samsodine from Cape Town, who sent us this beautiful shot of the sun rising on Table Mountain. And our second picture for the morning coming through from Habsin Oyi Ghost from Ladysmith, who captured this beautiful pink and orange skyline. What a way to start your Wednesday. Thank you very much for those. You can get yours through to us as well and use that hashtag Expresso Show. And now a look at the temperatures across the country. We start off with you, Polokwane. Sun and rain today, 17. That's your low, reaching a high of 29. With some sun and clouds from Bambela, 19 and 31. The capital city, Pretoria, starts off at 19. You'll peak at 30. Johannesburg, some thunder showers for you today, 17. That's your low. You will peak at a high of 28. Mahikeng, 18, reaching a high of 32. With Klerksdorp starting off today, 16. That's your low, reaching a high of 32. Kimberley, thunder showers, 18 and a max of 28, with a low of 14 and a high of 28 for Bloemfontein. Richards Bay comes in with a low of 22, peaking at 33. Sun and rain this time around for Pietermaritzburg, 18. That's your low, peaking at 33. Durban, 23 and 31. Nice warm day for you, with Mthatha at 15, reaching a high of 30. If you're out in East London, 17. That's your low, reaching highs of 27, with some thunder showers expected. 70% out in Craddock, 13. That's where you will have your minimum, reaching a high of 30. Gqeberha, 16 as your low. Your high today, 25. Expect some rain. Georgia, 13 minimum, maximum 22. The mother city, 17. That's your low, reaching a high of 22, with some sun and clouds out in Worcester, 12, peaking at 29. Sunny day out in Sutherland, but your low is 10, reaching a high of 27, with Uppington coming in last, certainly not least, 21. That's your low, and you will peak at a high of 33. It's a Wednesday. Make it a feel-good one.
It is going to be a feel-good day indeed, albeit I've got some rather sobering statistics coming your way. We're talking sanitation at our schools, but also the incredible job that Domestos are doing to address a horrid situation in this country. So cannot wait to get into the meat of that.
Absolutely. Cheers. And for myself, I mean, I'm really looking forward to finding more about early childhood development with Cotland and Purity. At the end of the day, I do call myself the nation's auntie, Auntie Bali. So I definitely am looking forward to that, paying very close attention.
Yeah, man, we'll delve into those discussions and a whole lot more in just a moment. You can go and refresh yourself. We'll see you in 2 secs.
hope you'll always know how much I love you. I hope that you never stop learning and growing, that you'll be brave and joyful and kind, and that one day when you look at me and I look at you, we'll love the wonderful you that you've become. It all begins with purity. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
I'm so glad that you are watching right now, because we are probably going to have one of the most important conversations that we can have in this country right now. When you consider that children lose up to 443 million annual school days globally due to hygiene and sanitation-related illnesses, you realize that mass education and action needs to take place. We have moved past breaking point, in fact. And one brand at the forefront of taking action, putting their money where their mouth is Domestos, through their National Hygiene and Sanitation Program. And here to share the incredible work that's been done and is going to be done is Masechaba Kawula, the Purpose, Strategy and Partnerships Assistant from Unilever. Quite a title.
Yeah.
Because you've got quite a mission. This is probably one of the most important conversations, as I said, that we can be having right now, because it affects so many young children. It is clearly significant when we look at the numbers that are involved here, how many children are falling ill, and that's not even taking it to the extreme of the negative situations that can arise. I mean, young children literally falling to their death in this situation. When we talk about the National Hygiene and Sanitation Program, give us a bit of context. What are you wanting to achieve?
So the Unilever National Schools Hygiene and Sanitation Program is an in-class behaviour change program which teaches the fundamentals of hygiene and sanitation education to all grade 1 learners across all public primary schools in the country. So we've been on this journey with the Department of Basic Education since 2017. And it was really in response to the impact of hygiene and sanitation illnesses among school-going children. I mean, the impacts are immense. And as you mentioned, you know, in some instances, you know, there are fatalities. And that's unfortunate. And this can't be the reality of our children. Yeah. That is the uniqueness of the partnership with the department, because we are then able to incorporate the program within the curriculum. So it's taught by teachers in the classroom, which then, of course, reinforces the importance of the program. In essence, the program is then driven by our 3 key hygiene brands. We have Lifebuoy, which touches on hand washing. We have Mented NP, which touches the importance of oral hygiene. And then, of course, Domestos touches on the importance of toilet hygiene. And really, we also support this program with product, which then, you know, further helps children to practice these habits. And that really is the objective of the program, is to not only change their behavior, but ensuring the continuous practice of these habits so that the habits are formed at a very young age.
It becomes a culture. And in order to be able to do that, you need to cast as wide a net as possible. 100%. You spoke about your work with the Department of Basic Education. Why was it vital for you to hit it at that level, to go to the extent that you have? I mean, you could have just done a great little marketing roadshow around schools, but you've taken it a step further, a few steps further. Why was that partnership so vital?
I think partnerships are so vital. I think when you strategically collaborate, you are able to combine resources, expertise, skills, tools, in order to create sustainable impact and to ensure that you're reaching as many people as you possibly can. And that's exactly what we've been able to achieve with our partnership with the department. You know, we as an organization, we set really high targets and ambitions. And through the program being delivered through the curriculum, we were able to reach over 4 million learners to date, which is significant. And that's something we wouldn't have been able to do without the department. And then when you further sort of add the layer of COVID and the context of COVID and children going back to school, the importance of this program is then further highlighted. So there is a further need for this kind of program in ensuring we're teaching hygiene and sanitation within schools. And really, that is the power of private sector partnerships and collaboration.
This is the formula. This is how it should all work out. This is the space you play in, so this is where you should be having that kind of impact. And I think partnerships also open the way for compound learning. You're learning lessons on such a big kind of scale, and those lessons are passed on through that partnership. It's not a new campaign every year, but you're building on the success of the last. I get that completely. All of this does need a commercial component, and you've made it really simple for us, just a man on the street, to be able to make a difference. How can we as consumers join you in this vital mission?
Oh, gosh, I mean, it takes a village to raise a child, right? I think we're all familiar with that concept. And as you mentioned, Domestos has been actively creating opportunities for consumers and citizens to get involved. And through the support of our consumers over the years, we've been able to deliver the in-class behaviour change program. We've been able to deliver, upskilling of school cleaners within schools so that they are able to effectively manage their toilet facilities. And we've been actively supporting government with their initiative to eradicate poor sanitation and unsafe toilets within schools. So, I mean, how do we encourage people to get involved? The first is choosing Domestos. Through the purchasing of the product, R1 of every bottle sold will go towards these initiatives. And then obviously the second thing is using your voice for the greater good.
Talk about it,
raise awareness, and advocate for, clean and safe toilets for all. I think it's very important that we have a voice and ensure that we're speaking for those that can't speak for themselves. And it really is going to take you and I to be the change.
Completely. And what I've loved about having this conversation on my own social media platforms is I've asked people out there to highlight if there are toilets at schools that need work. People are connecting. The Domestos team have been reacting. And as a result of this network, of this connection with the consumers, the schools, with Domestos, with Unilever, millions of children are being helped. We are changing this narrative from a toilet being a place that a child is terrified to go to, literally terrified every day of their life, to something they can be proud of. We are changing that culture. In fact, we can win the war against poor sanitation in our country. And all it takes is you and I to be that change. So every time you shop, when you buy your Domestos in store, which most of us buy very often anyway, R1 from every bottle sold will go towards safer toilets for 1 million learners here in South Africa. So let's all play our part and protect our young people who deserve it. In fact, this has gone on far too long. We need to make the change now.
Thank you so much, G-Man. What an incredible conversation. Yeah, this is what we're talking about, protecting the young people. And this is leading us quite perfectly into what we're about to discuss.
Yeah, because, I mean, look, the truth is investing in young children is one of the most effective ways to overcome challenges facing our society today. And there really are many. And we're creating access here in this process of, high-quality play-based ECD programs for children living in poverty. Of course, we know that this comes with endless benefits, and that is what Purity is all about with the Cotlin's Foundation.
Has a beautiful and very rich 85-year history. We take early learning to young children in vulnerable communities, and we do that through toy libraries and play groups. And throughout the years, we've always focused on children and their caregivers and their parents. And lately, we also focus on early childhood practitioners, and we take qualifications to these practitioners in the most remote areas in South Africa. Cotlin's vision is to see young children thrive in their formative years, and our mission is really to make sure that we create access to play-based learning of good quality, and we also ensure that the work that we do centers around play-based learning.
Cotlin's gets its funding from various groups, the individuals, we get from corporates, we get funding from government, but our big partnerships with corporates are very, very important to us, because without the private sector, we can't achieve the goals we want to achieve. The partnership that Cotlin's has with Purity is something very special. For every baby product bought, Cotlin's would get R1, which was a wonderful initiative.
So in terms of what the partnership entailed, it really was about raising funds that will go towards early childhood development. So Purity not only offers expertly developed products with the aim of supporting parents along the journey of raising their children, but we also want to make sure that we reach those children who don't necessarily have the means or access to these types of products, but most importantly, initiatives that play a role in early child development. We want to be there along every single step of young ones' journeys in their development and make sure that they reach their full potential. So a partnership with Cotlands makes sense for us because of the synergies that exist between the two brands, where Cotlands plays such a critical role in communities like this and making sure that they help children reach their full potential through their early development programs. And from a Purity perspective, it's how do we come on board to support those types of initiatives and make sure that we unlock the full potential of the children that they support.
But that's not all. Because you see, I am special. I am special. I am me. I am me.
On behalf of Purity, we'd love to hand over this check. Thank you for all the amazing work that you do in terms of early childhood development, and we trust that this will go a long way in terms of contributing to that.
Thank you. This is wonderful. Thank you, Tiger Brain.
Cotlands is really pioneers in the space of doing work in early childhood development that is not necessarily based within an ECD centre. So we set up play groups across the country, which is supported by toy libraries, which is our second service that we offer. And then we also have Cotlands Ignite, which is our online training platform, and here we offer accredited training courses to both toy librarians and early childhood development practitioners.
For people who want to get involved with Cotlands, please get onto our website, www.cotlands.org, and become a volunteer. There are many opportunities that you can get involved by donating your toys for our toy libraries, volunteering at our sites. So for this year, my hope is that with initiatives like this one with Purity, we'll be able to reach more children in the communities and allow them the opportunity to get the early childhood development that they need to be successful young adults who are employable, so that our economy can grow and we can have a successful South Africa.
I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. The amount of impact that we can effect in our local communities when we band together with corporates like what Purity is doing. The impact is significant.
It's huge, especially with the young ones. I mean, early childhood development is something that I think all of us need to pay more attention to. And I'm so, so glad that we've got initiatives just like that to be able to usher us into a new light.
Yep. Do your bit, and let's all make South Africa the place that we want it to be. We'll see you in a bit.
I hope you always know how much I love you. I hope that you never stop learning and growing. It all begins with Purity.
Welcome back. You're still live with Expresso. Thank you so much for keeping it locked. Let's celebrate the mamas in our life. The greatest blessing in life is being a mom. And despite the endless responsibilities, we really wouldn't have it any other way. I think the moms out there love the job, even if it is a challenge. And we've been asking all you marvelous moms to join the back to school and reality conversation. And we are loving your hashtag Real Mom Stories. So thank you so much for all of your entrants. We are now joined by one such marvelous mama this morning, Zanele Ntembu, who has not only won herself an Instant Vortex air fryer, but will also be sharing her hashtag Real Mom Story right now. Zanele, a very good morning and congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay! Oh, you sound so sweet. So good to connect with you this morning. Thank you so much, first of all, for entering in the first place. I'm so glad that we can highlight you as our most marvelous mom this morning. So I'm going to take you through the comment that you posted. You said, and I quote, my hashtag Real Mom back to school dinner is hashtag simply chicken steaklets with fried potatoes, salad, and freshly baked buns. Hashtag Expresso show. That sounds absolutely delicious. That is beautiful, and you leveled it up there, definitely, with the freshly baked buns. But I've got to ask you, for a mom that's clearly getting it right, what are your secrets, maybe the tips that you can offer other moms out there? How do you get it right?
Okay. So I know that being a mom is not easy. It comes with full responsibility and challenges. So what I can say is that those challenges and responsibilities, they also help you to prepare to be a better version of yourself. So my secret, I can say, is that I always set up a day plan which helps you to know exactly what to do on the day. Your daily plan can also include your house routine. It could also include your work stuff. If you are a young mom who are still studying, you can add those into your list. Secondly, what I can say is that as a mom, you have to teach you have to teach your kids how to behave, how to be responsible, how to take responsibility. If she is a girl, teach them how to behave as a girl. If it's a boy, you have to teach him how to behave as a boy. By doing so, you will be helping your kids by shaping them into the way that you, as a mom, want them to be. Lastly, what I can say as a mom is that never be afraid to try something new. For instance, if you are having difficulties as a mom, you can go to internet, search it online, or buy books that will help you through the journey. You can also look after for a second opinion from people who are moms like you. They will give you the best advice that you want to. Thank you.
I love that. You have got this covered. You could write an entire book on it. Absolutely beautiful. I love the fact that you highlighted, because I certainly feel that as a parent, that you do most of your growing as a parent. You really, you find out who you are as a person. Thank you so much. That was some amazing advice. I've got to ask, because of course you've got a brand new Vortex air fryer headed your way. What's the first dish you're going to make in your new air fryer?
Oh, thank you for that question too. Well, I have never owned an air fryer before. You know, it's a funny thing to say. But my family and I, we really love chicken bakers. So I will prepare a chicken baker and freshly baked buns with my new air fryer.
Oh, man, please invite me over to your house. I love the fact that you're baking your own bread as well. I think your kids are very, very lucky. I've got to ask one last thing, because I've been trying to find out. I test a lot of the Simply Chicken products out, and I haven't quite decided on my favorite yet. What is your favorite Simply Chicken product?
Okay, thank you. When it comes to a simple chicken product, I really love the chicken sauce plate, the one with cream and pepper. The reason why I love this product is that it consists of black pepper. I like black pepper because it also helps you to improve the blood sugar, and it also helps to fight cancer. For people who have cancer, it also helps them, and it also helps to keep your mind functioning all the time. As we know, as moms, we have to be on board every time.
Exactly. There is no off switch. Zanele, you are getting it right on every level. Thank you so much for being our marvelous mama this morning, and congratulations once again. Enjoy that air fryer, and all the best of luck for the 10,000 Rand grand prize draw. But Zanele, it's been wonderful getting to know you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow. Zanele has got it right, and you can follow at Simply Chicken ZA on Instagram to get even more great advice and some great recipe inspiration. And of course, don't forget that you stand a chance of winning yourself an Instant Vortex air fryer every week with Simply Chicken. What you got to do is reply to the competition post on the Expresso Facebook, Twitter or Instagram page, and then tell us your hashtag Real Mom Back to School lunch and dinner stories. Then, just like Zanele, not only do you stand the chance of winning the amazing air fryer, but also the opportunity to tell your story live on the show and automatically be entered into that grand cash prize draw for 10,000 Rand. So don't forget that hashtag Real Mom in your answer. And the competition is going to close this Friday. That's the 18th of Feb at midday. So get on it right now. But you can find all the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. Good luck.
Okay, let's get inspired around the home, because it's that time of the year, you know, the festive season's right behind us. You're really easing into the year rather, and starting to figure out what look you are going for. So we've invited a friend of ours to help us out with some amazing things, because basic homeware essentials, we all need them. These are those practical items that you can never have enough of. Interior designer Dylan Tomaj, our friend, is here to unpack his home essentials checklist. And you know, I mean, if it's Dylan saying this to us, we're in for some really trendy stuff. Dylan, so good to see you.
Good to see you.
Bedroom.
Yes.
We never think about the bedroom, because we're like, nobody goes there, not enough. But it's as important as your lounge or your bathroom.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
What are some of those essentials there?
So the most important thing is to start with the basics, and that would be your mattress protector, because I mean, that's what you don't see, but you need to make sure that sometimes it's hypoallergenic, because I suffer from sinuses, so I use the hypoallergenic version of it, which is really good.
Yes.
And then you can move on to different linens or different inners, and we always have a great range of different inners. And the best part about it is it comes with the standard pillows too. So if you get a double, you get two standard pillows. Yeah, which is really, really great.
Wow,
right?
This is really fantastic.
It is.
And I really do like that you will see so much of this, that it's now made with recycled microfiber, which is great. It's that sustainability conversation. And then we move on over to the bathroom. I mean, I'm obsessed. I really am obsessed with this
The colors are great,
like
right?
how thick they are,
Yeah.
the vibrancy of the colors. It's fresh. It's a breakaway from the norm.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the thing about bathroom towels is there's nothing worse than getting out of the shower and you dry yourself off with like a towel that just doesn't feel lax enough.
Yeah.
And everybody loves something different, and I prefer something a little bit more thicker,
Yeah,
more and more absorbent. And I think the thing about this is you want it to feel really good, because you've just had a shower, stressful day. You don't need a really bad towel.
You want your towels to sort of hug you as you go. But scents, those have become so important, because they're not just for the lounge.
No, it's an extension of you, right?
Yep.
So you have a signature smell, your home should have a signature smell, which I think is really important.
And Woolies, of course, have come through with a whole range of like all of these scents, and of course, so many ways to personalize them as well. Okay, so we move on over from that.
Yes.
To what you've got here. What is this? Oh,
this is a laundry basket.
Wow.
And the thing about this is you need to contain your stuff, right? There's nothing worse than coming home and seeing shoes lying all over the place or clothes lying on the floor.
Yeah.
Are you one of those?
No, I'm not.
Are you sure?
I get home, I pack everything like...
But this is a great way to contain it. So, and every household needs it. It's such a basic, but what's really nice about this, once you've packed your laundry or you're ready to do the laundry, you can just carry this to the washing machine. It makes life a lot easier.
And you can wash it too. You can really wash it too, because of the cloth around it. This is probably my favorite, because as someone who likes to entertain, I mean, come on, you can never get enough or have enough of your sort of cutlery sets or your glasses and all of that. They've gone all out here, right?
They have. And you know, the best thing is the price points are phenomenal and it's dishwasher safe. I hate washing dishes, so dishwashers are super important.
Yes.
But also the thing is, if you break a plate, because these things happen all
Yes.
glass, Woolworths has a fantastic range that you can just keep extending and extending. So if you start with a basic of 4, you can double that, and it just makes it so much better.
And it's because of that uniformity. So
Yes.
if you broke a big one, you still have a range of other sizes that you sort of tap into. What is your biggest sort of key take out in terms of advising people around decorating and inspiring themselves to refresh their spaces?
Totally. I think the whole thing is to make sure that the essentials are really good, because everything else is just layering items which make your home look really beautiful. But if the essentials are great, you really just feel good.
It lifts the mood as
Yes.
well. This is really fantastic. Well, Dylan, thank you so much. These towels, I'm here for them. And now it really is the best time for all of us to shop for all of our homeware essentials. Shop Dylan's top picks at Woolworths. You can get those available in-store, online, and on the Woolies app. Thanks, Dylan. I'll take these ones. Yeah?
And don't forget this.
No, you take that.
Thank you.
Simple as CBD should be.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show. It is Expresso live here on S3. Time for some music. Open up because we're joined this morning by contemporary South African jazz pianist. She's a vocalist, she's a composer, the whole package. It's Mallory Jane. And Mallory officially launched her album this past weekend called More or Less. And of course, with good news like that, you've got to have the lady in the house. It features jazz music and a contemporary approach, which is always such a refreshing style of music to hear. You've got, themes coming through that talk about the artist's process of finding and expressing one's idea of home and the self. It's a rich, soulful album. The album features Mallory Jane's jazz team with artists like Neo Matebula on the trumpet, Jed Peterson, who we Love on tenor and sax, as well as Alex Bayers on bass guitar. You got Lilivan Gangan, all the powerhouses on drums, and of course, in addition to all of that, you've got Mallory Jane on piano and vocals, and guest drummer Jared West. Okay, right? Everyone is there, each and every single one of them coming together on one single track. But before we chat to Mallory, here is a look at one of her special performances.
Baby, when all is said and done, I just wanna love you till the morning comes. Oh, oh, baby, I wrote the song for you, and I was hoping to hear you say,
I mean, come on, Mallory. What does it feel like when you see yourself in that sort of way, in that sort of light? You've produced the music, and now people can not only watch the experience of the energy that comes through in the music, but you're now able to share music that you've worked throughout 2021 on.
Well, thank you. It's an amazing feeling. I think every artist just wants to create or release an album. And I must say it's been hard work, but it's a wonderful feeling. Thank you.
Working on music for you, I can imagine, must have been quite interesting, working on a creative output in the midst of one of the most difficult periods with the COVID-19 pandemic. How long did it take you?
Well, it actually took quite a while to write all of the music. It took me about a year or two to just compile all of these compositions that I've been working on. And it was quite tough during lockdown, but I guess during lockdown we had so much time to really focus on our music. We just built into it and had some time to reflect on what it really means, why are we doing this thing called music that we all love so much. So yeah, it was definitely a hard time to compose, but it was definitely also a really rich time to reflect and to pull in all of those memories and special moments that we've been missing during lockdown into the music as a sort of way to connect to other people.
Expressing them.
Exactly.
But you also got the opportunity to define your style and really craft that experience. What was that like?
That is amazing. I think that's what we all, as an artist, as a composer, that's what you'd love to do. Everybody wants their own voice or their own style. So I feel like I've really delved into that a bit. And there's always more space to grow and to evolve. But up until this point, I feel like finally I've really found my voice and the style of music that I like playing, and I like doing.
And it's very interesting. I mean, you've combined classical, jazz, you've got elements of contemporary music, but you've also collaborated with so many unique, different artists who bring in a different flavor.
Yeah.
Did that help a lot in defining your sound?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm originally from Pretoria. And I used to play...
Hey, homegirl.
Yeah. Pretoria girl. And I used to play with people from my hometown who I'm actually...
From Hammanskraal?
No, I'm not. I'm just from Pretoria.
Oh, okay, no,
Are you
I'm from
Hammanskraal? Oh, okay. But yeah, absolutely. No, I think if there's a amalgamation of different influences and cultures and people with different backgrounds of music, then you create something very unique. It's not the same as just going on with the same tradition.
And then you appeal to a different type of audience altogether while bringing through all of the sort of, traditional lovers of jazz.
Yeah.
2022 is definitely going to be a big one for you, but now with the album out, what are some of your big plans?
Well, actually, we had a beautiful album launch just this past weekend.
Congratulations.
It was completely sold out. I'm so glad about it. Which was in Franschhoek on a beautiful outside venue and so on. So
you're not holding back, are you?
No.
You're going all out.
You have to go, or you go home. So I think we'll probably do quite a lot to promote and just get that music out there, because that's what we want to do, essentially, just share the music.
And the thing is, you've started at the right place. I promise you, when you do hear Mallory come on, the voice is absolutely incredible. And she's going nowhere. She's here on your Feel Good Breakfast show all the way through to 9 o'clock with some stunning performances. Welcome to
Thank
the
you.
show. It's so good
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, Tabsy. I cannot wait for those musical performances. But, before we get into all the music, we have to make sure that our stomachs are lined first. Now, struggling to get the kids to eat their breakfast? Well, we have an easy solve. Give them cake instead. Well, we'll explain. Our cookie dough baked oats is just like cake, but it's actually breakfast that tastes way better. The kids are guaranteed to love it. Don't me, girl?
I feel like, are we early? I think we're early.
Look at you in that apron. We ain't used to this. There's a word missing here.
Yeah, there's something. Oh, you can make... No, wrong one.
Express yourself.
Express yourself.
Don't do me. Well, this is what it's all about. We are focusing on breakfast, child. We're focusing on the kiddies, and we're making something super, super yummy. Now, you said we're giving them cake for breakfast.
Yeah. So the idea is it's served to look like a cake, almost like a mud cake, like a mud cake that you have from the microwave.
Yeah.
But the only difference is it's more nutritious, it's more delectable, it's more tasty, it's got all the goodness in it, and you don't have to stress about making it for the kiddos. And it starts off with a nice bowl of oats. And we know oats is good for you. It's good for that dietary fiber. It's good to keep you fuller for longer. So you know if you give them this, it'll sustain them throughout the day. And then into that, we go in with a couple more ingredients, like we've got some yogurt here. And I like to use my double thick. Most people talk about yogurt and they go for the lighter, low fat. I feel like it needs to have that creaminess. It needs to have that fat. Correct. Because it also is good fats. We have to understand that fat is a good thing. We have to stop fighting that fight about, no, don't give your kids fat. It's a good fat, so don't worry about that. Some vanilla essence goes into there, a bit of melted butter just for the enrichment, and then a bit of salt, just like we always say, a bit of salt and sugar always
just for
work
taste.
together. Just work together, yeah. And then I'm gonna add in a couple of our chocolate drops in there, but before I do so, I'm gonna leave a little bit because we want that chocolate bit for them to see that there's a bit of a treat.
On the top?
On the top,
okay.
Yeah. And then our Nutri-Kids.
Yeah. Now, Dumi, you were speaking about being able to feed the kids something very, very nutritious first thing in the morning, and that's what Nutri-Kids is all about. Totally enriched with so many nutrients rather, and the range is just so versatile as well, and you can use it in almost a lot of recipes as well, you know. It's a source of calcium which aids in the development of strong, healthy bones to bring out the best in your little ones. I mean, that's what it's all about, especially when they're going to school.
That's what it's all about, and I'm already looking at this dish, and for the adults, if you feel like you want to have something exactly like this, but you don't want all, you know, the work that goes into it, you can even make this as an overnight oats. So this exact same mixture, don't even bake it, put it in the fridge overnight. Tomorrow, enjoy it, it's delicious. But for the little ones, because we want them to feel like it's a treat, we're gonna bake this. So this mixture, just like you would with any other dough, goes into your little ramekins, or if you've got a muffin tin, it goes into your muffin tin. And then you're gonna bake these babies up for about 25 to 30 minutes. It all depends on your oven. And then before they go into the oven, just add a couple more of these babies just for the treat, the celebration, the gift that we're giving them, which is nutrition, but wrapped up so nicely, so deliciously, where it looks like something they want to dig into.
Now, I've never heard of enjoying cake for breakfast, but this is what it's all about. Today, you added some chocolate drops, but I can only imagine you can add some fresh fruit and be very versatile with the recipe.
Exactly. You can add some fresh fruit. You can even add some dried fruit, because the liquid that we've put in here will rehydrate whatever fruit you've got in there. So if you've got some leftover apricots, dried apricots, or anything like that, pop it in there, because it's an additional, you know, layer of sweetness, but it's also an additional layer of nutrition from the fruit itself.
Wow, look at that. And also, like, the way it comes out is just, it's spectacular. I'm very excited to try it. I mean, this is good for the kids, but even better for me. Now, Dumi, something else with this recipe. What is important to remember when it comes to putting this together?
It is important just to also understand that you're making this for children. You can change it up for yourself, but make it for children, make it in nice portions. You can portions. You can even make this ahead, put it in the fridge, and when the babies are ready, just put it in the oven. It's always about convenience for yourself as a parent.
Convenience at tip top. That's what I'm all about. And if you would like to try this at home and get your hands on this delicious, delicious recipe, please do head over to theexpressoshow.com.
I'll go. But one of you said, oh, he's back. Oh. Move way.
Clover Fresh Milk.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day.
We were there for Umpelele Mapebeza days, there for the game changer days. Telkom has been and will always be there, making every day more special with the new Telkom Uncapped Prepaid Fiber. Get a 3-day voucher at 99 rands or 7 days at 169 rands and even 30 days at 449 rands. No fixed contract, full control of spend, easy to top up. Fast goes prepaid for your home.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
I don't know if it's just because the Afternoon Express ladies have just completely taken over our show or something, but I can't believe how quickly this first hour has gone. Done and dusted, eh?
I can't believe it's 7 a.m., but you know what? This is what it's all about, having fun first thing in the morning and bringing you nothing but the best.
It's a little bit weird, though, seeing you take over our kitchen, but it's okay. Now, we're loving having the ladies from Afternoon Express, and we're loving keeping the conversation going with you guys. And we put to you a very important question, because I guarantee you there is someone in your family that you need to phone right now, thank them and tell them how much you love them. So we put it to you guys this morning. Sometimes life can get so busy so quickly. That's when you rely on our loved ones around us. Who in your family are you grateful for today? Okay, and I know everyone's going to say mommy. Everyone's going to be like mom, but
that's a bit of an obvious one, especially after the conversation that you had with Zanele a little earlier. Very, very heartwarming stuff. And I know I love myself, my mommy, but we are continuing to spread the love just post-Valentine's Day. So let's see what everyone had to say.
Nombelelo said, my aunt has been my support system, big heart since the passing of my mom in 2002. Our condolences. When I've grown up, I got my own place now, but she's never stopped taking care of me. I am grateful for her.
Beautiful. We also have Tejo Fatso, who's one of our top fans, and they said, to me, it will be my daughter, my little brother, as I am their mother. Thanks to my late mom for trusting me to take care of these kids. Hashtag Expresso Show. Shout out to all the older siblings that are deputy parents. I call myself deputy mom to my baby brother.
Really? No, my sister definitely is a deputy parent to me, and I have no idea where I'd be in this world without her. So do that. Take a moment this morning to say thank you to the person that you love. Thank you to the family that supports you during the toughest of times. All right, it is almost time to get onto the top of the hour, but I think we can sneak in a couple more questions.
We've got Geraldine here who says, definitely my mom, Rumba Govender. She has always stood by our side, but more so now being so supportive to us and a pillar of strength whilst we still facing the fact that we lost our dad. Oh my goodness, our condolences to you and your entire family, Geraldine. But shout out to mom for taking over the role of both mom and dad right now, being so supportive. Oh, what heartwarming stories.
We love it. So keep those comments coming. At Expresso Show is the handle to use, but you guys already know that. It is now time to delve back into our national news. I'll get into some of those sporting headlines as well before we delve into the second hour of the show.
Thank you very much, guys. Time for us to take a look at those news headlines. Just a minute before 7 o'clock, and we start off here at home, where Mineral Resources and Energy Minister Gwede Mantashe says that the international crisis between Russia and Ukraine could lead to higher costs for local motorists. And Mantashe said that serious attention should be paid to the developments between Western countries and Russia on the Ukraine matter, as it could impact crude oil prices. And he added that this could result in a huge increase in fuel prices globally, as well as negatively affect local consumers. Meanwhile, South Africa's petrol price is heavily weighed based on international oil prices and the buying power of the rand. Staying here at home, the National Director of Public Prosecutions, Shamila Batohi, says that the National Prosecuting Authority, that's the NPA, plans to approach the National Treasury to create a trust fund. Batohi says that the purpose of the trust fund is to allow private donors, such as businesses, to donate money to help the NPA with its work. Batohi says, speaking to Parliament, a standing committee on the public accounts mentioned that it was not a new idea for the government to work with businesses to combat crime. In international news, Britain's Britain's Prince Andrew has settled a civil sexual assault case brought against him in the US by Miss Virginia Giuffre. Now, she had been suing the Duke of York, claiming that he sexually assaulted her on 3 occasions when she was 17. Now, Allegations have been repeatedly denied by him, and a letter has been filed to the U.S. District Court yesterday saying that the Duke and Geoffrey had reached an out-of-court settlement. Now, it did mention that the Duke would pay an undisclosed sum to her. Buckingham Palace declined to comment on the statement. In Israel, they have clinched a $500 million deal to supply Morocco with an air defense system. The contract with Israel Aerospace follows the signing last November of a memorandum of understanding on defense cooperation between the two countries. Now, this includes the Barak MX-A and missile defense systems that have been seen developed over there. The Barak MX is supported by radar and various launchers for the best deterrent against combat aircraft. Helicopters, cruise missiles, ground-to-air missiles, as well as ground-to-ground missiles have been seen there. Morocco agreed to normalize relations with Israel in the U.S. brokered deal in late 2020. Now, this year, the Oscars will be hosted by U.S. comic actresses Regina Hall, Amy Schumer, and Wanda Skies. And the trio of movie funny women will MC the 94th Academy Awards at Hollywood's Dolby Theatre on the 27th of March. For the past 3 years, the ceremony has had no official overall host, and they want people to get ready to have a good time. It's been a while, said Hall, Schumer, and Skies in a statement that was published on the Oscars website. Now, appearing on Good Morning America, primetime Emmy-winning comedian Schumer joked, "I'm not sure who thought that this was a good idea, but I'm hosting the Oscars along with my good friends Wanda Skies and Regina Hall." Meanwhile, it appears as if Jane Campion's The Power of the Dog is set to bag this year's Best Picture award, as it has come through with 12 nominations and closely followed by Dune with 10 and Belfast and West Side Story with 7 each. However, King Richard, starring Will Smith, with 6 nominations could upset the apple cart, and Denzel Washington has become the most nominated black actor ever. His nomination for The Tragedy of Macbeth in his 10th. What a way to end our news headlines. There's something for us to think about ahead of our movie reviews with JP Sebastian. Time now to take a look at what's happening in sports with Graham.
Thank you so much, T-Man. Let's kick it off with last night's incredible footballing action. And the man of the moment, Kylian Mbappe, he netted a 94th minute winner to secure a 1-0 win for PSG against Real Madrid in the first leg of their Champions League round of 16 tie. The hosts, they dominated the clash and could have gone 1-0 up before that when Mbappe was brought down in the box. That gave Lionel Messi the chance to score from the spot. Messi, though, had his spot kick saved by Courtois, diving low to his left. Mbappe, who was probably the best player on the night, was at it again in the latter stages of the match, and his weaving run was expertly slotted past the Belgium to give his team the ultimate win. Elsewhere, Man City, they continued their amazing run of form with a 5-0 thrashing on the road over Sporting. Bernardo Silva scoring 2, and Raheem Sterling continued his scoring form. Riyad Mahrez and Phil Foden also finding the back of the net in that dominant display. Then the round of 16 action continues tonight with Liverpool away to Inter Milan. Nice matchup. And then Bayern Munich facing Salzburg. Then bringing it back home for more footballing news, Kaizer Chiefs were obviously looking to bounce back from their weekend exit from the Nedbank Cup. That, of course, at the hands of TS Galaxy. But they were unable to assert themselves against a makeshift Cape Town City side that showed a lot of heart. They ultimately salvaged a 0-0 draw. At the same time, Maritzburg United picked up a revenge victory over Supersport United. The teams met last week in the Nedbank Cup as well in a match which Masatansa stole 1-0 with a late strike from Ikram Reyners. This time it was the team of choice who tasted victory thanks to goals from Friday Samu and Rowan Human in a 2-1 win. The day's action opened with a late afternoon kickoff where Royal AM continued to impress, making waves in their debut top flight season, securing a 1-0 win over Sekhukhune United. Then a bit of a shift in gears in the United Rugby Championship, the first ever home United Rugby Championship match for the Stormers, and and an overseas team will not be played at Cape Town's regular home venue of the Cape Town Stadium. Of course, with the Cape Town Cycle Tour due to take place the same day and the finish scheduled for the same Greenpoint precinct that you would find the stadium, Western Province has been forced to change the venue of that clash with Zebre on Sunday the 13th of March to the Donnie Craven Stadium in Stellenbosch. The switch of date to Saturday was unfortunately not possible due to a URC rule that stipulates there has to be an 8-day gap at least between matches for the teams that are playing cross-hemisphere fixtures and have to travel from their home base overseas. The match will be the Stormers' first ever competitive match, in fact, in Stellenbosch. Then some interesting news in tennis, at least this coming out of quite a shocking interview. Novak Djokovic has said he would rather miss out on future tennis trophies than be forced to get a COVID vaccine. So speaking exclusively to the BBC, he said missing competitions such as the French Open over his jab status was the price that I'm willing to pay. The 20-time Grand Slam winner was deported from Australia last month after the government cancelled his visa in a row over his vaccine status. The world's #1 men's tennis player also said he should not be associated with the anti-vax movement, but supported an individual's right to choose, which he has certainly done so. Well, that's where we leave our sport for this hour. We'll do it all over again at 8. So let's get you prepped for the day ahead with some of the weather and temperatures you can expect, and of course some of your beautiful sunrise pictures.
Thank you, G. We take a look at some fantastic weather news ahead of those temperatures. Now, they're cute and cuddly, they are incredibly photogenic, and they are unashamedly Australian. What am I talking about? Well, it's very sad that we're getting the news that environmental news from down under is that one of Australia's much loved, iconic and cute animals, the koala bear, is now listed as an endangered species. Now, this after a dramatic decline in numbers, and the once thriving species has been ravaged by land clearing. We've seen bushfires, drought, disease, as well as other threats such as the devastating consequences of climate change. It's believed that 1,000 perished in the huge bushfires of 2019 and 2020, and the federal government said that the listing was for Queensland, New South Wales and the Australian Capital Territories, and these areas have been urged to do more to protect koalas from rapidly diminishing habitats, as well as, of course, paying attention to the climate change situation that's taking place. Now, koalas typically inhabit open eucalyptus woodland, as the leaves of these trees make up most of their diet. Surprisingly, though, eucalyptus leaves are poisonous to most animals and humans, but a koala system can safely process them. Well, from that bit of news to taking a look at your stunning sunrise pictures, Razeen Pandey from Westering in the Eastern Cape sent us this incredible sunrise with a burnt orange skyline, while Roomba Govender woke up very early this morning to capture a fantastic sunrise from Phoenix out in Durban. Out in Polokwane, that's where we start off with your temperatures. We take a look at your sun and rain situation with a 42% chance of rain. 17 is your low, reaching a high of 29. If you're out in Mbombela, sun and clouds for you, 19, peaking at 31. Pretoria comes through with a low of 19, peaking at 30 degrees. Johannesburg, some sun and thunder showers for you today, 17, peaking at 28, with Mahikeng coming in with thunder showers expected there as well. 18 is your low, reaching a high of 32. If you're out in Klerksdorp, 16 and 32. Kimberley, 18 is your minimum, reaching a maximum of 28. Bloemfontein starts off at 14, peaking at 28. If you're out in Richards Bay, expect some sun and clouds today, 22, that's your low, reaching a high of 33. With Pietermaritzburg coming in with a low of 18, reaching highs of 33. The warmest place to be, that's for you, Durban, 23 is your low, reaching a high of 31. And if you're out in Mthatha, lots of rain for you today, 80%, 15 is your low, reaching a high of 30. Some sun and rain expected today, as was the case yesterday for East London, 17, reaching a high of 27, with Craddock expecting some thunder showers. 13 is your low, reaching a high of 30. Gqeberha, 16 and 25, with rainy times out in George. 13, reaching a high of 22. The mother city, Cape Town, 17, peaking at 22. Worcester is at 12, that's your low, reaching highs of 29, with some sun out in Sutherland, starting off at 10, peaking at 27. Last Certainly not least, Uppington, 21 is your low, reaching a high of 33 with sun and clouds coming through. It's a Wednesday. Once again, if you're only joining us now, please do remember to get your sunrise pictures through to us with the hashtag Expresso Show.
All righty, time to have a little bit of fun. I'm very excited about this game. We've got Mallory Jane here, who has obviously proven herself to be an aficionado of just about every kind of musical instrument there is, but can she draw? This is the question that awaits us, because we're going to put her head-to-head with our beautiful Pali. Have a little bit of fun. We are spicing things up this morning by putting our performers' drawing skills to the test. So let's play a round of everybody's favorite game, Pictionary.
Whoop, whoop.
So how the game works is super simple. You need to guess what the next person is drawing. Easy peasy. Or is it?
Or is it? Can you draw, girl?
No,
well, you better learn.
Draw.
Like
I can sing, bro. I can't draw.
That bodes well for us. The entertainment value should be fantastic. I actually prefer it this way. Pali, can you draw? You strike me as someone who probably can.
Yeah, I actually took art up until matric, but I was a photography art student. So this is going to be challenging for me, but I'm so competitive, so I better beat Mel.
Okay, I have a feeling this is going to be great. It's going to be very, very fun. So what we've got there is a tiny little bowl with some words in it, or the subject matter. Okay, so you can take one. Pali, you take one. Should we give Mel the opportunity to start first?
I'll allow her.
Okay, we're going to give you 30 seconds to draw. Okay, is that all right? Is that enough time?
Okay.
Okay.
How long do I have to guess?
Well, we'll give you...
Until I get it right.
We'll give you 30 seconds as well, I think is safe. Hey, but you're quite fast, so maybe you'll get it 15, 20. We might give a bit of leeway. Okay. All right, Mel, you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm nervous.
I'm trying to gauge from your reaction to the piece of paper what you got to draw. Okay. Do it. Your 30 seconds starts now. You can...
I've already started. Sorry.
Okay, already there's an abstract shape. It's a dinosaur.
Yes.
Oh, my word. That's incredible.
That was amazing.
And it's better than my 4-year-old. It's better than my 4-year-old, which is already one good step up there. Okay, that was pretty quick, eh? You were smashed out the gates there, Pali. Okay.
I've got mine.
Good luck.
All right.
Okay.
Take the fire in the eyes, hey?
Okay. Can I go?
Go for it. Your time starts now.
Okay, one. Oh no, Pali. Oh no.
No,
oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
What is that?
Oh, this is stressful. Okay.
You can see the picture. It's okay.
Okay. Context.
I quite like this collaborative.
Like
8.
A river.
7.
Is it? Oh, that's a thingy you wait.
Yes. Okay, keep going. What's another word for it?
Dumbbell.
Yes. Oh, come on.
Is that it?
Yeah,
dumbbell.
it's a dumbbell. Yeah.
Oh no, you got it. Is that go like this, Pali? I just want to see if it's anatomically correct. Show me your
very accurate.
Oh, you draw a picture of your own arm there. Please show the viewers your beautiful. There we go. It's exactly the same.
See the resemblance?
Yeah. I like your heart-shaped head as well. That's lovely, no? Very, very good.
I think I'm still in the romantic spirit.
Yeah, no, definitely Valentine's Day. I'm very impressed. Okay, go for it, Mel. Grab another one.
Right, my turn.
You guys are actually a lot better than I thought that you would be after talking us down. Okay, and the 30 seconds starts now. Go for it.
Okay.
Oh,
You actually
it's a cow.
are a good
It's a cow.
drawer.
No, it's a dog.
Oh,
No.
that's horrible.
It's a dolphin or a mermaid.
Yeah.
Boom!
Oh my word.
Guys, you know what? When you're good, you're
Think
good.
about starting a professional 30-second team. You clearly
like
share.
A 5-second team.
Yeah, this is crazy.
When
Okay,
you're good, you're
not
good.
bad.
When you're good,
Sure.
Okay. Can I have
Are
a
you
look?
ready? In 3, 2, 1, go for it.
Oh, why do I get the hard ones? I don't know how to draw this. Okay. It kind of goes like that.
Okay.
And then it also kind of goes like that sometimes.
The British flag.
And then it kind of goes like that. And then it goes like that. And then it goes like
the
that.
M3.
And then...
It's a seatbelt.
Yes, get it, girl! Yeah!
What is going on here? And earlier you were talking, you were doing some kind of unspoken communication thing going on here. You are clearly...
No, listen, Graham, when you get each other, you just get each other.
I'm feeling that. You guys dressed all awesome, and that's why. Okay, one more.
One last one.
Let's see if we can stump you.
Ooh.
Okay, so here, winner takes all, because right now it's 1-1.
It's tied.
It's
tied. I'm going to give you bonus points. I'm giving you 10 points each because you've been so good, okay? It's tied. So this one is going to be the decider. Okay?
Are you ready?
Actually, let's do it at the same time and
Okay.
see who gets it first.
Okay.
I get the hard ones. Okay,
you
let's
do
go.
get the hard one. Okay.
So far, you've proven that you've
1,
got this.
2,
okay.
3,
go
let's
for it. Oh, this is exciting. So it looks like a beehive and a
A beehive?
Arsenic. Ah.
A burger.
Yes.
Boom. It didn't stipulate what kind of burger. Is it
A cheeseburger.
Is it a cheeseburger?
And what
a chicken burger?
did I draw? What did I draw?
Burger. Ooh, what is that? I have no idea.
It's a landmark, a huge landmark. It's a landmark.
You're on the right thing.
I don't know what that is.
So I guess I won.
Yeah, I guess you won. What?
It's the Eiffel Tower.
The Eiffel Tower. Okay, I would have gone with...
It's the Eiffel
probably
Tower.
an American landmark in New York. No, very, very good.
Close.
Okay,
close.
so
Well done.
I'm going to say that you guessed right in the final round. Pali, your competitiveness
You took it.
means you have taken this. Can we get a big resounding round of applause?
What do I win?
That was amazing. You win yourself this amazing little whiteboard and black markers.
It's my favorite colour, so I'll take it.
You can show people wherever you go today your brilliant drawing prowess, Mel. You're a superstar. I think you undersold that you can draw.
Yes,
we love this. If you enjoyed the game, please head over to our social media pages and show these amazing ladies some love. Let us know what game you'd like us to play next. Get creative, push the boat out, have a little bit of fun with us. We are going to be back in the hot seat with Mr. JP Sebastian in just a moment, talking movies. Don't stray too far.
What's beta-glucan? Hello, do you know what beta-glucan is? What is beta-glucan? No one knows what beta-glucan is.
Beta-glucan is a natural fiber in jungle oats that helps lower cholesterol and keep hearts well. Yes.
Jungle. Do life with heart.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Jordan Peele.
Good
I was thinking if there was one way to intro a good movie segment, it's with that name. Or maybe it's with JP Sebastian.
I prefer the other JP, maybe.
Oh, man, no, we love you, Guy. Welcome back. Some cracker movies to talk about this morning. It kind of feels like the movie verse. I'm not talking about the multiverse or the madness verse or whatever other verses are going on.
You've been wrapped.
Our movie verse is back to normal. Hey, it kind
That's
of feels
thanks
like...
to the Super Bowl verse.
Yeah.
So obviously this weekend...
Over 50 and loving it, man. Loving it. Buddy, we got some films to get excited about. One in particular that's got me very excited is the name Jordan Peele and the name of the movie Nope. This kid can direct a film.
Yes. Last year, you remember, obviously, Get Out, Oscar winning. And
Brilliant.
Us, a horror movie winning an Oscar. Is
but these, can I say that they kind of have a foot in psychological thriller as well as horror, because he plays with the mind in a beautiful way. What is the premise of Nope?
Okay, so we're talking about Nope. It seems. So like I said, premiered at the Super Bowl, the trailer for it. So these are just the recent trailers that came out this week that JP's trying to entice you with, that enticed him in return. Starring here Keke Palmer, it also stars Steven Yeun, and returning to the realm of the stable of Jordan Peele is Daniel Kaluuya, who we remember from Get Out, obviously, who we remember from Sicario, who we remember from Judas and the Black Messiah. One of the best actors we've got.
Absolutely superb.
Nope. It leaves you on the top of your seat, wondering at the edge of your brain what is going on throughout, and it obviously is a return to his wheelhouse of, you can say, horror, but it's more of a sci-fi turn here too. I like very much when stuff about, say, aliens invading, which this might very well be about, because throughout the trailer, which is all set in this small town, this little dorp where there's this ranch that Daniel Kaluuya is just passing his days on, which he looks sort of nonplussed and bored with his boss about throughout, is this looming threat of something hanging in the sky. Is it a cloud? Is it a UFO? Are there aliens? Of course they are. It's a Jordan Peele movie. But wow, first look at the cinematography, which is beautiful. It's Hoyt van Hoytema, who usually works with Christopher Nolan. Dunkirk. He's worked on several movies that don't come to mind right now. Well, aside from Dunkirk, obviously, Interstellar, etc., etc. So beautiful eye being cast here with a beautiful director that is Jordan Peele. Throughout, though, mystery. You're not going to learn too much watching this trailer, but it's pretty enough to look at. And Daniel Kaluuya is a fantastic actor.
Yeah, one of them. He's probably a generational find.
For his generation, we can't necessarily put one in the ranks and say Denzel or whatever, but for a younger generation, dude's up and coming so strong, man. Oscars galore. He's headed his way one of these days.
Why is the horse in a box?
Because horses are creepy enough. You remember The Ring. So, yes, Steven Yeun, also such a great actor. Their date, there probably should be one for South Africa. I think it is July 22nd. And, yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. Like I said, after Get Out, after Us, psychological thrillers, like you say, psychological horrors, gets under your noodle, makes you, twist your brain, wonder what's going on exactly, and also gets under the skin to creep you out. Aliens. Now, what I really like is any kind of horror movie and any kind of world, any kind of movie that plays out entirely in a little dorp. So whether it's Jaws, we love, whether it's Signs, remember, whether it's Tremors. So I love that kind of challenge. It's not just, you get CG and the whole planet gets destroyed and whatever. How do you keep it claustrophobic? And Jordan Peele's the man for the job.
Yeah, Claustrophobia. It maybe is the name of his next movie, in fact. Okay, so let's take it back to a classic now, Lightyear. Angus MacLean is at the helm of the telling of the original story of the guy. And it's him. Look at him. It's Buzz Lightyear.
I'm pretty pleased that you're entirely convinced that this is the original story, because
it must be, surely.
It's hard to say what it is, obviously, because it's obviously a spin-off of Toy Story, which Pixar doesn't usually do spin-offs. Pixar doesn't usually do sequels, so this is probably a very good sign of faith in the team, in the director, in the creative people on this movie. Lightyear, obviously, then is based on Buzz Lightyear. Is this the story of the movie that caused the character Andy in Toy Story to want to buy the action figure in the first place? Is this possibly, and this is a theory I'm just making up now, although I'm sure it exists on the internet already, playing out just in the imagination of the young boy of Toy Story? Is this happening in Andy's head? The way Inside Out happened, inside Riley's head, etc., etc. Who cares, though? Pixar is desperate to say, it's its own movie as well. So obviously, the story of the human Buzz Lightyear, you learn a lot more from than the previous trailer in December, that it's happening all on a separate planet where Buzz is trying to get humanity back to Earth, I suppose, but they're all stranded there. Voiced by Chris Evans. Yes, David Bowie comes into the trailer. Look at the visuals, by the way. It's really incredible that a company like Pixar, which is a kids animation studio for all intents and purposes, makes a space movie that looks more impressive than 90% of the space movies. Pixar comes along and goes, oh, that's cute. Let us try spaceships.
Oh, we'll just draw it for you. Here we go.
And do it remarkably, no doubt. The cat sucks, obviously.
And there's almost a Star Warsy color grading going on with this animation, which is a little bit weird to me.
Good call. No. Pixar is so good at getting into our nervous system and figuring us out, making us cry, and no doubt Lightyear will hit the buttons and the nerves, all the rest of that good stuff.
Absolutely beautiful. Big budget animation to big budget, big movies. Jurassic World Dominion we're going to be chatting about in just a moment. These are the movies that got JP Sebastian out of bed this morning. Got him excited, got him rocking out. So hopefully he'll help you rock out in just a moment. More movies on the way.
And hopefully this next recipe gets you out of bed. Fish and chips, we all love it. Mzansi family favorite, enjoyed especially by kids. And what better way to celebrate an iconic hashtag friends in your freezer combination than to, well, actually create a bit of a twist. Yeah, you're welcome. We're making melty, cheesy, loaded fish and chips with McCain crispy oven chips and skin on. Sea Harvest Hake Bakes, you're gonna love that one. Here's a recipe that will definitely have your kids asking, is the food ready yet? And viewers can also stand the chance to win one of 4 9th-generation iPads by visiting Expresso's social media pages. Of course, Expresso Morning Show SABC3 on Facebook, as well as at Expresso Show on Twitter. And follow those competition prompts. Now, pediatric dietitian in nutrition, it's Kath Magar. She is here to show us all about bringing this recipe to life. I love this. For me, it's convenience, Kath.
Absolutely, and that's so wonderful. It's in your freezer, you get home from work, you pop it in the oven. So that's really how it starts. We take the fish, we take our chips, and we pop it in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And while we're doing that, we're going to just caramelize some onions.
Okay, at least that also does give Mom a bit of something to do while that's happening, while these are defrosting and they're already, of course, going off in the oven.
And the wonderful thing is that you don't have to pre-defrost them. You can just put them in your oven straight from frozen.
And that doesn't even cause an issue with the water content sort of rising and making it soggy?
Not at all, not at all. And it's so convenient, you can even use it in an air fryer. And kids can help you compile the recipe and put it together. And what's wonderful is that this fish is sustainably sourced, so you know that you're giving your kids really, really good, healthy food. And these chips are one of my favorites. I mean, look how
they look great.
Skin is on. So they're a good source of fiber for the kids.
Crunchiness that's going to come through. I love that. Well, we know that all of these products are frozen at their freshest, making sure that the quality nutrients and the taste is locked in. You really do want that. And it does guarantee you the most wholesome loaded fish and chips yet. Trust me, when you see the final product, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. And I think it's because the product range is so user-friendly. All of the prep has been done for you. That's why you will really enjoy the benefit of convenience, and you can literally begin making those caramelized onions while your kids start laying the fish, because it's a collaborative effort, right?
Absolutely. So, I mean, you can get them to put the chips all nicely, and when I'm doing this, you can put together some of our avo and our yogurt there. And I'm going to sprinkle the cheese on top here. So I've got some cheddar cheese, which I'm sprinkling. You can even add some veggies in. This is a great place to hide some of the delicious frozen veggies from McCain's.
You see, the thing for me...
You can hide those in there.
Yeah.
And these delicious fish strips. Look at that.
Because it's such an unusual combination, right? To find your fish strips and your chips going in one like this. They're usually separated in bowls.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why this is such a fun recipe for kids, because we can see what is hidden under the delicious cheese that we're going to do. And then you're going to pop this back in the oven for about 6 to 8 minutes. And while that is busy cooking, you're doing a great job there smashing that avo.
And what are you looking out for when you have it in the oven? Because I often find with frozen food, sometimes that golden effect is not necessarily what you're gunning for, because you're not trying to completely change what it looks like coming out of the pack, right?
Yeah, so you do. You just want to cook it. So that's why it's so quick. It's 10 to 12 minutes in the oven. When you pop it in and you want your cheese to be melted.
Yeah.
So when you know your cheese is melted, it's ready to come out
this is fantastic.
of the oven. So, like I say, you can hide some veggies in there, which is wonderful.
What veggies would you sort of put in there?
The peas and corn mix with the carrots is such a wonderful example that you can put in, and kids love those, and they can say, see what you can find while you're eating your meal.
It becomes interactive.
Absolutely. So you smashed our avo for us, and then you can mix the yogurt with a bit of parsley.
Is that going in here?
Yes, that's going in, and I'm going to just add a little bit of salt to our smashed avo, and a little bit of salt to our yogurt. A little bit of pepper there.
Going
you're
in.
really good at this.
Oh, look, I've done this many times for my kids, I almost said. But this is really stunning. And if you want the recipe, please do go on our site, expressoshow.com. And you really do stand the chance to win big with hashtag Friends in Your Freezer by Sea Harvest and McCain. You stand the chance to win one of 4 fun-filled family trips to a local kid-friendly destination to the value of, please wait for it, it's 50 1,000 Rand. And all you need to do is simply buy any one of the McCann and the 1C Harvest product combo. Take a picture of your till slip. We're going to need that one and upload it onto friendsinyourfreezer.co.za. Okay, so what does it look like when you've combined everything? I mean,
look at that.
Come on.
Isn't that just beautiful to look at? Delicious to eat. It's got all the nutrients in there. Excellent brain food, and how easy was that?
But for me, it's the flavor and the taste of it being there, so you're not missing anything because of the convenience. You really do gain quite a bit. Kath, this is really fantastic. All of this would go in, of course, you can serve on
once
top.
it comes out, exactly. You can pop it on, so you mash this comes out the oven, you pop it on, lay it on, and the kids can do that. You know, they can put it all together. You can sprinkle a little bit more of feta cheese on top.
You can make it indulgent.
They love it. Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
This is really stunning.
So delicious.
You're fantastic. Thanks so much, Kath. This one I'm certainly going to try for myself. Remember to keep your proof of purchase when you do enter the competition. And those T's and C's can be found on friendsinyourfreezer.co.za. Lovely.
Delicious.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We are live coming to you from Expresso. Now, Tabsy Wabsy, I'm such a movie boffin. I love a good entertainment.
Me too. And the thing is, who doesn't? I mean, let's be honest. And we've seen some really good movies come out. Now, listen to this one. Based on one of the best-selling video games of all time, that Uncharted. It does introduce audiences to a young street smart thief played by Tom Holland, who is recruited by seasoned treasure hunter Mark. And all of this recovers, a fortune lost half a century ago. They go really on a journey here. And together, the duo embarks on a dangerous quest to seek out the greatest treasure never found, while also tracking clues that may lead to, cherished family secrets. We love that.
Oh, I love that. Okay, let's take a sneak peek of this latest film releasing this coming Friday.
There are places out there you can't find on any map. They're not gone. They're just lost.
Hey, kid. A little young for a bartender, aren't you? A little old for prom, aren't you? Leaves are falling all around. Is everything in here? Why the map?
This is the path that Ferdinand Magellan took to sail around the world.
You know your history.
It's the biggest treasure that's never been found.
5 billion, easy. I think you're here because of your brother.
Wait, you know my brother Sam?
If we find that gold, we find him too.
the hell is this?
I'm a friend of Sully's.
Sully doesn't have any friends. I should know I'm one of them.
You are a collector. Well, I dabble. I don't dabble. My family has been looking for this fortune for a very long time. So much blood. I'm pretty sure he just threatened to kill me. Don't touch your ear like that. You look like an idiot.
You have no idea who you partnered with.
I've been dreaming about this stuff since I was a kid. My brother Sam left one final clue.
The action.
Yeah, can you say action?
Wow.
I mean, absolutely incredible. Definitely looking forward to it. I mean, other key cast members include Truth or Dare's Sophia Taylor-Ali, a hinted love interest of Tom Holland, as well as Antonio Banderas as the movie's principal villain. I'd love to see him in the villain role. Now, if the critically acclaimed video game is anything to go by, we can expect high-energy action and dramatic fight scenes to get the heart racing. My heart's already racing, child.
Oh, no, look, I'm on the edge of my seat. Listen, this is one to check out.
So let's reinforce that now. I think we've all heard about Tom Holland's willingness to do his own stunts in The Impossible and, of course, the Marvel Universe's Spider-Man series. He really has shown himself very adept, but he reckons that the stunts he had to pull out for Uncharted are by far the most difficult he's ever had to broach. Let's find out why.
So, what are we doing today?
It's a really easy day today. You're doing a backflip over Mark. And then next up, you see those three massive stunt guys that were in this morning?
Yeah.
You've got to fight them. And then it's that shot of you getting thrown into the table.
I'm sorry?
I think it's a character thing. You're then doing that bit where you smash that guy in the face with the glass bottle.
Oh yeah, with the glass bottle, I like that.
And then we just finish with you getting hit by a car.
That's it?
Hang on. If time permits, Tom to do a jump over a 50-foot drop, catching himself on a chandelier. But I don't think we'll get to it.
I don't think we'll get to that. I don't think I can do that.
Oh, I don't think you can do that either.
With Uncharted, I was shooting stunts that are far bigger than anything I've done before. The sequence when we're flying out the back of the plane on the boxes, I mean, we must have shot that for 5 weeks, almost every day. At times, I'd be like 100 feet in the air, attached to a box that is spinning, and then I would basically hang on until it would throw me off. And it was really scary, but I think that level of fear just makes that scene that much more authentic. It's the hardest action sequence I've ever made.
And that is why he is Hollywood's it guy at the moment. Strap in and prepare to be blown away by all of the clearly massive action in Uncharted. It's out now in cinemas this coming Friday. And if you're looking for an even more immersive experience, well, be sure to tune in to tomorrow as Grant Hines reviews the Uncharted video game.
Let's give you one more immersive experience, this time around, though, in the form of music. We've been waiting the whole time. Mallory is on standby with one of her latest releases. This one is called More or Less. Mallory and team, do it.
Thank you.
We're all in step, good because who knows what comes next. At least I know you're trying your best. More or less, so hold on tight. Things seem to get better by the stride. We're all in this together side by side. wrap your mind, get it right. It's just more or less, so take your time. Learn the melody from line to line. Then I'll see you on the other side. Hold on tight, we just might get it more or less. So take your time, learn the melody and learn the line. Then I'll see you on the other side. Hold on tight, we just might get it more or less. That's it slowly does it now. I'm sure we'll end up friends somehow. So no more trying, just play you let me guess. More or less, that's it slowly does it now. I'm sure we'll end up friends somehow. So no more trying, just play you let me guess. More or less.
About that combination of the contemporary style with the classic. I love it, guys. That was Mallory, you come alive. You really just want to live in that. What did you think of that performance? Let us know on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. More with Mallory a bit later on.
Welcome back. You are, yes, still live with Expresso, and yes, about to delve into more movies that have got this kid excited about what's coming up at the box office. This is a big one. It's probably one of the biggest franchises ever in the history of
You
ever.
start with a wince already. Why?
Because the dinosaurs are now walking among us. Is this a thing?
Too ridiculous for you?
Is this it is ridiculous, man. We started with a coffee cup just going shaking with...
Shame on you, it was a cup of water.
A cup of water, it was.
Steven Spielberg.
So we've seen the Jurassic phenomenon reborn with Jurassic World and then with Fallen Kingdom, and it now comes to a head in World Dominion. Okay.
Yeah.
Who is going to hold dominion over the Earth, the dinosaurs or the humans?
Well, so the trailer that we're about to all have a ganders at, because these released this week, like I said, Super Bowl, and all the trailers came along, and JP had to spend like 3 hours watching movies he was like, nah, about. So have to talk about the blockbusters, of course, and Jurassic World Dominion will be amongst them.
Yeah.
Among, I don't know, whatever. The story being here that, like you said, it's now worldwide. And as you can see from the clips, they're no longer confined to the island anymore. The dinosaurs are kind of all over the place, and Chris Pratt is doing his handy reach-out touch thing again, that is. Yeah.
The dinosaur whisperer.
Yes, and it would seem as if they're hurting them. The plot is still sort of under wraps right now. They're not giving away too much, but it's pretty obvious that it takes a similar arc to, remember with Planet of the Apes, it starts in the lab, it goes to the city, and then by the third Planet of the Apes, it's apocalyptic. It's after the monkey poop has hit the fan. In this case, the dinosaur poop has hit the fan. Yes, the hand reach out thing again. We know, Chris Pratt, well done. Sorry, I really don't like
Got the hand. Do you think he turns to Colin Trevorrow and he's like, is it time? He's like, okay, bring out the hand. And then he brings out the hand.
Keeps it in like a silk glove in his back pocket for the entire shoot until the moment. But other important names here. Laura Dern and Sam Neill. Returning, of course, with Jeff Goldblum. So a lot of big fans are going to be excited. These are obviously the same people from 1993, Steven Spielberg's comparative masterpiece. Now, look, some of these visuals, guys, I watched District 9 again like last night, and I'm like, it's 2022, and these aren't necessarily knocking it out the park. I'm sorry, I'm going to be a bummer. I'm going to be a Bummosaurus Rex here. Hey, BD Wong. Hey, Jeff Goldblum. Glad to see your faces. But, like, with CG, you can't get addicted to how pristine you want it to look in your shot. If the audience is going to lose detail, that's just the luck of the draw. You know, movies have imperfect light at times, and movies, it feels more realistic if stuff is, whether in the dark, half seen, half unseen.
Perfectly imperfect.
But to make everything seem like it's an art exhibit because you were so proud of your dinosaur model, it really kind of like doesn't make it as realistic for me as it could be. Especially since, you know, these Jurassic Park movies have put behind them puppets. They used to have big latex dinosaurs that would freak out in animatronics and actually
Why are they so angry, though? These dinosaurs seem so angry, man.
You wouldn't be miffed after what humanity has done to your home, your planet.
I suppose so. It was the asteroid. It was not us. Okay, I love that. Looks cool.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm game for that.
It should be cool enough.
Yeah, it's a big blockbuster, and I love Chris Pratt. Let's be honest, but I love the big guns that have been brought back in. Don't me, mister. Okay, let's get into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
I was ready to do the tongue butt noise again, but because, you know, it's superhero movies and movie critics have to be like, yes, I'd rather watch Schindler's List again.
But there are all sorts of hidden links here, or maybe not so hidden.
Kind of keen.
Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi's a good start.
Yeah, he was the OG from the OG Spider-Man.
You know, you could say he was the one who put the superheroes trend on the map. I think that's a gift and a curse, I guess.
Yeah.
The first Spider-Man was Tobey Maguire. And what for my money, which is very little, it's in fact student debt at this point, is one of the best superhero movies we have. Sam Raimi's work, maybe not in Spider-Man 3 where Spider-Man goes all emo, but he really was crafting something that was his own. He didn't have the noose around his neck to do things according to a T, according to focus groups, and according to the checklist of the hero must do this, this, and that. But it's good to see a directorship back in his hands after 9 years off the radar of this guy.
I like his balance of being able to create moments to have humor within that, because these films need that light and shade, I think.
And he's very much on the shade side of things, because you'll remember like stuff like whether it's the Green Goblin, whether it's like the waking up of Doc Ock, or at least the arms, that the guy has obviously an established history in. There's your man, you love him so much. Benedict Wong.
He's the hidden gem in the Marvel universe, man. We absolutely love him. But there are a couple of familiar faces here, so set the premise for us. What's going on?
Just to finish off my previous point, Sam Raimi, obviously a horror gene to him in everything he does. And yeah, it's really good to have, especially if you're going to enter stuff where it deals with dark multiverses. And yes, listen to the score, by the way. Guys, when you get the time, turn off my voice and just watch the trailer on your own. Danny Elfman, who is America's composer.
Yeah, that guy, yeah, he's done pretty much everything.
And the score is really half the work of this trailer. Like I said, I'm not a guy who goes out of his way for superhero movies, but this trailer really does look compelling. I'm pretty keen to see how this plays out. May 6th in South Africa. Doctor Strange, like we discussed the last time, has nuisancely opened up a multiverse for Spider-Man. This is after the events of WandaVision, but here it seems like he teams up with Wanda Maximoff to fight a new threat through the multiverse. Fortunately, the trailer doesn't give away the entire story, but it does feel very propulsive and moves forward the entire
Yeah, look, it's hinting at some big action, some very powerful, nice female characters, which we love, and a multi- or interdimensional creature.
It makes no difference at this point. Just throw it at me.
I'm loving it, man. And I think the fans, I mean, looking at the fan art that's exploded and all the people going crazy on YouTube, there's a lot of lore behind Doctor Strange, so hopefully that'll scratch that itch. But Sam Raimi, that's enough for me. Buddy, these are some big blockbusters. Super Bowl did not disappoint. JP Sebastian did not disappoint, so hopefully the box office won't disappoint you, but these are some of the movies that have caught our attention that are heading to the big screen.
Blockbusters of note, but here's the thing, when it comes to, watching any movie, it does come with a bit of a snacking experience, especially this next recipe.
Yes, bring the family. 100%. Your cousin's coming over. Get the crush and I'll get the ice. The whole family?
More Crush Mom? 100% refreshing, 100% goodness.
Made with love by Clover.
Now, getting your little ones to eat a little healthier need not be bland and boring. Come on, they also don't want that. We're crushing on a trendy pancake recipe originating in Korea this morning. It's the best part, I'll tell you that. The veggie form. Trust me, they're going to love that. I'll tell you why. Because it's served with a glass of refreshing crushed juice. The combo is 100% goodness all round. And Tumi Mukhwai is here to show us how to make it. Tumi, you know all things about preparing the best treats and snacks, especially for kids.
You know what the thing is for me, and I know you're talking about the kids, this is bringing back so much nostalgia, because when I was on Tastemaster, there's a Japanese pancake that I did that was very similar to this. It's called the okonomiyaki.
And I mean, you won the show.
I mean...
So that's telling. All right, so what ingredients have you got there?
All right, so we've got, it's a very veggie-based pancake, like you've mentioned, right? So we've got some carrots that I've got here. I've got some flour that I've already got in our pot, in our bowl. Into this, I'm adding some carrots, and the Korean pancake is also very scallion-rich, which is spring onions.
Which is really good, right?
So that is important to make sure that you add those in here. We've also got some grated baby marrow. So even though these are the veggies we have now, you could definitely play it up and add whatever veggies of your choice.
You really can be very experimental. So what am I making here? Because I know that you've got all of these ingredients laid out. What's this for? Where does it go? I mean, you've got the soy sauce, and I'm trying to understand how we're going to integrate that with our pancake.
All right. So what happens is with these pancakes, this one, the Japanese pancake, which is the okonomiyaki I was talking about, and
okonomiyaki.
This one,
How do you say it so fast? I mean, oh, hey, Korean
do a lot of research on that. And then this one is the Korean one, which is called the japun. This one, the important thing is there has to be some sort of dipping sauce or something to eat it with.
All right.
And that's where our clover crush comes in, because we're going to mix our
soy sauce with
exactly. So some of our clover crush carrot and orange juice with our soy sauce, mix those two together. Once we've made these pancakes, we're basically going to dip them in there, so that saltiness that comes from the soy sauce and the sweetness
combined with...
I mean...
Oh, my word, you are taking us to Korea. Okay, then some sesame seeds sesame seeds going in there as well. I'm seeing a potato going into our dipping sauce. I've never heard of that sort of texture.
I know.
What's the special thing about that? Is
the whole idea is we want the starchiness from the potato to come in here and actually also help bind this mixture together.
Oh, so it's not going in here?
No, that's coming in here into our...
What an interesting dipping sauce.
Yeah, so that's coming in here. It's going to be mix together with the sweetness from the carrot, the earthiness from the potato. All of that is going to come together and give us a nice, you know, you can still make it thick. It's up to you, just as it cooks a little longer. But you still want it nice and thin so that when you pick it up, it's still pliable. So maybe pop this in there. And then you might be worried about it being too dry. The great thing about it is as it cooks on the pan, because of the liquids in the actual veggies, it gets released, so it won't be dry at all.
And we know that the tomato, for example, is quite it's full of water.
Of course.
Right? And so that's going to release. Now, with 100% goodness from Crush, you get 100% fruity, tasty goodness in every sip. And today, that goodness does bubble up in our tasty sauce, which I'm going to mix up here. How do you know when your sauce is ready?
How do you know when your sauce is ready?
How do you know when you've got the right sort of quantities of each? So what would you use to measure? Do you want more of the juice?
You want to taste. The whole idea is to taste as you go. That's the attribute of a good chef, tastes the food as they go. So as you taste, if you see you need to add a bit more soy sauce, you add in there. If you want to add a little more something else, you could even add stuff like ginger into this. You can add, a bit of a ginger goes in, maybe a touch of lemon juice just to give it a bit more body.
Some zest as well.
Exactly. So now the great thing about this pancake as well is I'm going to let it cook down. I'm going to reduce the heat. You still want it to cook because you've got raw veggies in there. You've got
and that will take some time.
Correct. So I'm going to give it about 5 minutes on each side. In essence, once it's done, this is what we're looking for.
Look at that.
Full pancake. Most times the pancakes we have is just flour.
No,
but this is nutritious.
That says eat me and eat me now.
With that dipping sauce.
With the dipping sauce. I mean, this is really such an interesting sort of twist on a snack. And yes, the kids are going to love it. Anyone who has you making this for them will totally be pleased with you. You are a rock star. That's why you rata so.
New York.
In New York, baby. If you want the recipe, please do go onto expressoshow.com. We've got the recipe with all of the ingredients you're going to need, and as you can see, simple, straightforward, and full of flavor.
Made with love by Clover.
welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast show right here on S3. Now it is the top of the hour, and that means that it's time to catch up with all of your news, sports and weather. Over to you, Tabzi.
Thank you very much, Pali T. We start off here at home, where the Western Cape Premier, Alan Winde, has announced plans to create 2 specialized departments to tackle housing infrastructure and transport challenges in the province. Winde was delivering his provincial speech at the Veldrief on the West Coast, and he said that the new infrastructure department would include the current Department of Human Settlements and divisions of the Department of Public Works and Transport. Winde said that the Department of Mobility would focus on the movement of people and goods. Staying here at home, Mineral Resources and Energy Minister Gwede Mantashe says that the international crisis between Russia and Ukraine could lead to higher costs for local motorists. Mantashe said, and I quote, "We should pay serious attention to the developments between Western countries and Russia on the Ukraine matter, insofar as it impacts crude oil prices." And he added that this could result in huge increases in fuel prices globally and negatively affect local consumers. South Africa's petrol price is heavily weighed based on international oil prices and the buying power of the rand. In international news, the head of the Egyptian authority managing the Suez Canal has said that the work is underway to extend the 2-way section of the waterway by some 10 kilometers. The Suez Canal Authority chairman, Osama Rabi, said that it would be too expensive to expand the entire canal, which is a vital trade link between the Red Sea and the Mediterranean. And last year, a massive container ship, the Ever Given, was stuck in the canal for several days, causing considerable disruption to global shipping traffic. Over in the UK, Britain's Prince Andrew has settled a civil sexual assault case brought against him in the US by Miss Virginia Giuffre. Now, she had been suing the Duke of York, claiming that he sexually assaulted her on 3 occasions when she was 17 years old. Those allegations he has repeatedly denied. And a letter filed to the US District Court yesterday said that the Duke and the Giuffre, the Duke and Giuffre had reached an out-of-court settlement, and it said that the Duke would pay an undisclosed sum of money to her. Buckingham Palace have decided to decline to comment on this settlement. Now, never in his 92 years did Malawian musician Giddes Chalamanda ever dream of one day being famous enough to dine with the president. But thanks to his unlikely new stardom on TikTok, a social media platform he can't access because he hasn't got a smartphone, Chalamanda's ode, Lini Hu, to his daughter received some 80 million views on the video sharing site. Now, this fame has also brought him to the attention of Malawi's President Lazarus Chakwera, who threw a party for Chalamanda's 92nd birthday at the State House in Lilongwe. And he said, now quote, "It was such an honor, and the president asked me about my opinion on Malawi's music industry and the arts." He also received a blanket and a pair of leather shoes from Chakwera, and they sang one of Chalamanda's songs together, Azimai a Malawi, which means Women of Malawi. Now, in his State of the Nation address last Thursday, the president at one point also did say that ours is no ordinary nation. Ours is the home of the fine sounds of Giddes Chalamanda. So special. That's where we leave it for this morning. Here's a final look at what's happening in sports with Graham.
Thank you so much, Tabi. So let's kick it off with last night's footballing action, and the man of the moment last night, Kylian Mbappe, netting a 94th minute winner to secure a 1-0 win for PSG against Real Madrid in their first leg of their Champions League round of 16 clash. So the hosts, in fact, dominated for the majority of the encounter and could have gone 1-0 up before that. That was when Mbappe was brought down in the box to give Lionel Messi the chance to score from the spot, which he most often does. But Messi this time had a spot kick saved by Courtois, diving low to his left. But Mbappe, who was the best player on the night, undoubtedly was at it again in the latter stages of that injury time, weaving run expertly, slotting past the Belgian to give his team the eventual win. Then elsewhere, Man City march on. They continued their amazing run of form with a 5-0 thrashing of Sporting out on the road. Bernardo Silva netting twice. Then Raheem Sterling continued his scoring form. Riyad Mahrez and Phil Foden all finding the back of the net in a dominant display. Sunday. Then the round of 16 action will continue tonight with Liverpool away to Inter Milan. That's a really interesting matchup. And then Bayern Munich are facing Salzburg. Then bringing it back home, but more at the beautiful game, or at least that's what Kaizer Chiefs were in search for, looking to bounce back for their weekend, after their weekend exit from the Nedbank Cup at the hands of TX Galaxy, but they were unable to assert themselves against a makeshift and very dogged Cape Town City side who salvaged that 0-0 draw. At the same time, Maritzburg United picked up a revenge victory over SuperSport United. The teams met last week in the Nedbank Cup as well in a match which Masatsansa stole 1-0 with a late strike from Ikram Reyners. This time, it was the team of choice who tasted victory thanks to goals from Friday Samu and Rowan Human in a 2-1 win. The day's action opened with a late afternoon kickoff where Royal AM continued to impress, making waves in their debut top-flight season, securing a 1-0 home win over Sekhukhune United. Then on to rugby news. The first ever home United Rugby Championship match for the Stormers and an overseas team will not be played at the Cape team's regular home venue of the Cape Town Stadium. That's because the Cape Town Cycle Tour is due to take place on the same day and the finish scheduled for the same Greenpoint precinct that you find the stadium in. So that means Western Province has been forced to change the venue of that clash with Zebra on the 13th of March to the Donny Craven Stadium in Stellenbosch. A switch of date to Saturday was unfortunately not possible due to a URC rule that stipulates that there has to be an 8-day gap between matches for teams that play across hemisphere fixtures and have to travel from their home base to overseas. So the match will be the Stormers' first ever, in fact, competitive match in Stellenbosch. Then a really interesting interview with Novak Djokovic revealing his intentions. He has said that he would rather miss out on future tennis trophies and that magical 21 Grand Slams if he is forced to get a COVID vaccine. So speaking exclusively to the BBC, he said missing competitions such as the French Open over his jab status was the price that I'm willing to pay. The 20-time Grand Slam winner was deported from Australia last month after the government cancelled his visa in a row over his vaccination status. The world's #1 men's tennis player also said, though, that he should not be associated with the anti-vax movement, but clearly he supported an individual's right to choose, which he certainly did very publicly. Well, that's where we leave our sporting headlines on this hump day. We'll bring you up to speed again tomorrow morning. Right now, though, let's set the tone for the day with some of those temperatures and a bit of a weather perspective and some of your beautiful sunrise pictures.
Thank you very much, Graham. We take a final look at those weather updates as well as those sunrise pictures. We start off here in South Africa, where the South African Weather Service has issued a yellow level 1 warning. That's for thunderstorms with heavy downpours in the Eastern Cape today. It warned that major storms could be expected as from 2 p.m. and could continue throughout the day. Now, the Weather Service said that there was a possibility that the expected thunderstorms may become severe. This as the province is still reeling from previous inclement weather that saw parts completely submerged. In December and January, widespread damage from thunderstorms and flash floods were incurred, and at least 6 people succumbed, with more than 1,000 homes destroyed. We've seen a number of businesses, clinics, as well as hospitals damaged in the process, and those affected were helped by the gift of the givers. We wish everybody all the best over there as they recover from this tragedy. Now, thank you very much for submitting your sunrise pictures and helping us start the day off on the right side of bed. Thank you very much to our contributors this morning, Gameda Samsodin from Cape Town, who kicked off with a sunrise picture, a shot rising over Table Mountain. Then Habzin Oyi Ghost from Ladysmith captured this beautiful pink and orange skyline. At 7 o'clock this morning, Razine Pandi from Westering in the Eastern Cape sent us this incredible sunrise with a burnt orange skyline. Take a look at that. Last not least, Rumba Govender captured a fantastic sunrise from Phoenix out in Durban. Durban, stand up. That's looking really, really stunning. We do it bright and early again tomorrow morning. You can get your pictures through to us on the Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page. And now a final look look at your temperatures, starting off with Polokwane. Sun and rain today. Your temperatures are 17, reaching a high of 29. If you find yourself out in Mbombela, some sun and clouds for you today, and your temperatures are 19, peaking at 31. The mother city, rather the capital city, that's Pretoria, 19 and 30 with sun and clouds over there. And Johannesburg's got some thunder showers today, 17, peaking at 28. In Mahikeng, 18 is your low, reaching a high of 32. Thunder showers for Klerksdorp once again, as was the case yesterday, 16, peaking at 32, with Kimberley coming in at 18 and 28. Bloemfontein, your low is 14, reaching highs of 28, with Richards Bay at 22 and 33. Pietermaritzburg, 18, reaching a high of 33, with sun and clouds for a change for Durban, 23, peaking at 31. Out in Mthatha, lots of rain for you, 80%, 15, peaking at 30, with East London experiencing the same, starting off at 17, peaking at 27. Thunder showers, Craddock, 13, reaching a high of 30, 70% at that, with Gqeberha, GQ, starting off at 16 and peaking at 25. George, your temperatures are 13 and 22, and the actual mother city, Cape Town, starts off at 17 and you will peak at 22. Worcester, 12 and 29. Sutherland, it's sunny times out there for you. Your temperatures are 10 and 27. And if you're out in Uppington, your low is 21, reaching a high of 33. Happy Wednesday, Mzansi.
You know, Pali, you know, when your partner is no longer firm, okay, it's no longer supportive, okay, it's no longer giving you a buzz every time you walk into that room, it's time. It's time to divorce your couch. Okay?
Absolutely.
It's time to get rid of that old couch at home because you deserve Goma Goma. So we asked you guys why you are breaking up with your couch. So let's find out a bit of your discourse at home.
Yeah.
And some of the comments we have received, and there are some crackers. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. You know, South Africa might have been thinking, what is Graham talking about? But this is what we're talking about. I mean, Kenzo Holsworthy definitely interacted with us and says, I think it's time that we break up with our lounge suites. It's worn out, outdated, and not comfortable anymore. They've carried us throughout these years. Generational couches, that's what I've started to call them. Hashtag you deserve Goma. Hashtag Expresso Show. Listen, I know exactly what you're talking about, Kenzo.
Yeah, man, we've grown up on generational couches. I get it, man. I get where you're coming from. Let's see what Shanti Ramdas had to say. Hashtag you deserve Goma. After 40 years, it breaks my heart, but I still need to break up with my favorite lounge suite. It's old, weathered, and torn. Served its long-term purpose. I'm still in love with it, but it needs to go. Hashtag Expresso Show. Ooh, she's conflicted, eh? You can see.
And those are so many years, over 30 years. Jeez,
that's a relationship. Let it go.
Okay, let's read one other comment. We've got Jolene Neft who says, hashtag you deserve Goma. As they say, out with the old, in with the new. I would love to give my living room a new look, as I have been doing so with my whole house. It needs to add, you know, a little bit of color. Listen, I feel you, sis. I feel you.
But look what this green has done to our little space here, so I get you.
It's come alive.
Let's close it out with Annie Gloria Thorne, who had this to say, hashtag you deserve Goma. My couch is 32 years old, and it has served me beautifully all of these years. Now I desperately need a new one. The Goma Goma couch would be an awesome win. I can feel people are conflicted, eh? People are very emotionally invested, clearly, in their couches. Yeah.
Do you know one thing I have to salute South Africa by? You guys definitely know how to keep something.
You're
keep
loyal,
a good thing. Very loyal. 40 years, 32 years. Okay, look, South Africa. This February, together with Goma Goma, Expresso has the Dual Onyx 2-seater couch up for grabs. That's this bad boy I'm sitting on right now. All you have to do is tell us why you need to break up with your old lounge suite, and we could be sending you a new one. Hashtag you deserve Goma.
So it's really simple to enter. What you've got to do is upload a picture or just simply tell us why using the hashtag you deserve Goma on the Goma Goma Facebook, Instagram pages. Really easy to find the post. And then when you enter, simple as that, you stand a chance of winning a brand new Dual Onyx 2-seater couch courtesy of Goma Goma.
Absolutely, fingers crossed. We'll be enjoying Expresso Morning Show while lounging on your new couch. This competition closes at midday on the 25th of February. T's and C's can be found on goma.co.za. Good luck.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. Another installment right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show of the Culinary Heartland Link.
Ting, ting, ting!
Oh, yes. You know what we do during this time? We get joined by one of our favorite chefs, Chef Clem, who is here to answer any of your questions, any of your kitchen conundrums. You can give us a call on 021-110-552. In fact, last week, a special lady called in, and today she's joining us in the kitchen. Her name is Trishi Catelo. Welcome, Trishi. Trish,
everybody.
How's it going?
Thank you. Thank you.
And
It's lovely to be here.
The only way
Very nervous.
No, you cannot be. The official welcome is when you've got this on.
Thank you.
Yes.
I accept.
And now you are a part of
I'm
it
one of the
entirely.
Yes,
this is
you
really stunning.
absolutely are.
Trish, you called us last week, and here you are today. What was your question for Chef?
Last week, it was the question about salmon. Salmon, again, it's going to be about salmon, but it was about salmon pate, and Chef Clem sorted that out.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic recipe. But this week, what I found was the different cuts of the salmon, and I'm by no means a cook or a chef.
Come on, you're sounding like one.
No, I found that the different cuts obviously have different fat content. So, for instance, when you're making fish cakes out of using the tinned cuts, the cut is very dry, but when you're using the belly of the salmon, it's a lot oilier.
You just answered it so well.
It's so technical,
That's
but
exactly
I love it.
what it is. So I love that question because, yes, salmon's quite a big fish, especially when you're getting it when it's more mature. And you'll notice a difference in the meat textures. So close up to the top where the top fins are, I'm pretty sure there's a proper name for... It's not a dorsal fin.
probably is.
Is it a dorsal fin?
There probably is.
Oh, okay,
Our smartest
cameraman, he's giving me a
Pete,
nod.
just nodded, yeah.
You'll find that'll be meatier, leaner meat. And as you move down to the belly, you'll find there's a lot of marbling and there's a lot of fat that's in there.
I can relate.
Oh my goodness. So
Trish, stop it.
what I suggest is using the meat that's a little leaner and meatier. Because fish cakes, in a sense, especially salmon fish cakes, what I love about them is you can just add so much to it that you'll take like a 400-gram piece of salmon and you'll be able to like feed like 6 if you're really smart about it.
Something tells me you are very much into your salmon.
I am, but for very different reasons. I used to work in the fish industry with...
You did?
But with pet food, believe it or not. I did give to a couple of people.
Nice!
Yeah, so we used the salmon skins to make dog treats because it's full of the omega-3s and 6s, and that's where I learned about salmon and fish.
Yeah.
Love it.
And also restaurants, I mean, salmon skin is so on trend.
Absolutely.
And how
They serve it as part of a dish.
As you
on its
almost
own.
portion, it comes in a little salmon skin with a little bit of a foam.
Wow.
Very zhuzh.
Trish,
Very
you are,
zhuzh.
you are
indeed.
upper echelon. Okay, cool.
Let's talk about
go.
this. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some salmon fish cakes. What like you said now, tin fish does work really well with this because it's a little drier, which means it'll hold its shape better. So I'm starting off with some leftover mashed potatoes, and this is just my hack to make a little bit of salmon stretch and go a little further. So, okay, I've got some salmon, and again, like I said, this is essentially, this was one big fillet, and we're going to make it stretch as far as possible. So the salmon goes with the mash, and you want everything to be cold at this stage. Everything must be cold. Again, that is why I do like working with the tinned version of it. So then a lot of flavor. Salmon and dill, we know, go really well together. Spring onions. You can chop this up really fine if you want, but if you look at everything going on in the bowl, the salmon's quite soft, so is the potato. Adding a bit of crunch to it by like keeping your spring onions a little bit chunkier
Thicker,
makes a difference, Parsley, and I'm not going to chop it up too fine because I want to kind of see those parsley leaves in there.
And so how do you ensure that you've got the right sort of mixture of all of your herbs that doesn't overpower completely and take away from...
Very good.
That is a very good question because I need to buff it because I need to find a knife. And while I'm talking to you, a knife's going to magically appear on the side. But don't look what's going on over there. It's going to happen. Okay, so your question was about herbs. So the thing about herbs is you get the more delicate herbs like your parsley, for instance, which is more forgiving if you do add a little too much. unlike something like a rosemary, which is extremely floral, once you add too much rosemary, it's going to taste like you're eating soap. It's going to, you know? So it's all about taste. And Tumi was here earlier, and she was saying, think about being a chef is you taste as you go. Not only a chef, like as a cook, you taste as you go. And if you have a preference
you
for
missed something. The knife did magically appear.
You guys don't understand. It's like a voice-controlled kitchen. You see, while I was talking, boom, the knife appeared. So that's the one thing about herbs. So taste as you go. Keep in mind, the more woodier herbs, rosemary, thyme, sage, they are more intense in flavor. So go a little sparingly on that. Seeing as you like salmon, so I want to ask this very quick question while I'm busy bringing it all together. Oh, by the way, let me just give you a little run through. So this is our mixture. I'm going to mash it all together, shape it. We're going to go flour, egg, breadcrumb. Okay? I'm going to keep on talking now. So if you like making salmon at home, and I know Tipiso's got a question there.
I've got a question.
Okay, ask your question first.
The question's got to do with your lemon. Why are you getting that in there during this stage of the process as opposed to at the end of it all? Are you neutralizing what you've got in there just yet, or what's the story?
So we're leveling a little bit of the acidity that's in the mixture right now. I like that you've picked up already. You want to serve it with a punchy acid at the end as well. So we'll serve it with lemon at the end as well. It's almost like seasoning. You don't just season once the dish has been seasoned, put on the plate. You season as you go. And lemon is just another seasoning.
I love that.
So when you're cooking salmon at home and you get a salmon fillet, we're so accustomed to, when you're cooking seafood, to go really high heat and quickly. But salmon's a little different because it's got all those layers of fat. If you hit it really high with a lot of heat, it's going to start contracting, and it squeezes the fat out. Have you ever seen when you cook salmon, you get like that white, almost like there's like foaminess on the outside? Absolutely. Because your temperature in the oven or in the pan was too hot. So it caused the meat to contract, and that's what you're seeing coming out of it. So a little lower temperature is what you actually want to do when you're cooking salmon.
So long and slow.
Little lower and slower, yeah.
Lower and slower.
So Trish, do you like reserve your sort of salmon for like very specific occasions where you want to indulge, or is this like, no, any day?
No, any day is a salmon day.
I love you.
Any day is a salmon day, and I'm a bulk buyer, which is where the question actually came from. So that's why I do all of that.
And who do you cook for usually?
You know what? I'm very blessed. As the surname I have an Italian husband, and he is a chef in the kitchen. So I'm actually super blessed. I get cooked for every single night.
No, you really are. But it's beautiful to know that you are able to switch it up when he thinks you're waiting for him to come cook, and you just like hoy some salmon.
No. The kitchen is a no-go zone for this woman in that house.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, no. There will be bloodshed.
Whoa, okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Bruno, chicken.
Bruno. Well, listen, we have made this recipe available for you on our site, expressoshow.com, with all the steps required to bring the chikatelo fish cakes to life. And I hope that Bruno is watching and hopefully trusts you enough to get you in the kitchen. Okay?
Let's hope so.
Give us a
We're
call.
not done. We're still coming back.
With another installment of
Culinary Hotline Bling.
Ting, ting, ting.
We're keeping it a little shh.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely beautiful. My mouth is actually watering. That is an awesome team in the kitchen today. So good to have one of our viewers stopping by as well. Really cool. But right now, we want you guys to experience Red and really unlock more with Vodacom's Red plans and some pretty cool giveaways. So if you switch to Red between the 7th of Feb and the 6th of March, you will unlock a free United Rugby Championship jersey.
Super exciting. I mean, Vodacom is also giving away a free rugby jersey each week for the month of Feb. Yesterday, we asked you who is your favorite SA rugby player and why. Let's take a look at some of the comments that we've received.
I was joking about the fact that Sia ruined rugby for me when he moved to the Sharks, because now I don't know who to support anymore.
I'm from Durban, so...
See, it's just made it all so confusing. And I think Tito Moguera feels the same. He said the one and only Sia Khaleesi. He is an inspiration to us as young people and shows us that nothing is impossible. Here.
Absolutely. We also have Ronwin Daniela Ludwig, who said, my favorite is definitely Cheslin Colby because he is very versatile and an exciting rugby player. Oh, yeah, that's
I would say best in the world in his position. Come on.
Yeah, you were schooling me just now.
Yeah, no, he is amazing. And then S. Masola Camps saying, and this is one of my favorite guys, never mind rugby players, Siabelo Sanatla, for he is one of the best wingers and has proven that in the 2016 Rio de Janeiro Olympic games. He is amazing, making the leap from sevens to the 15-man game. You've all made brilliant suggestions. Well
now
done.
listen, this all sounds like French to me, but one thing I do know, we certainly have amazing SA rugby players. Remember to tune in on Friday to find out if you are the lucky winner of a rugby jersey.
Oh, look at them, they are beautiful.
Absolutely.
So Vodacom and Expresso want you to experience Red and unlock a free jersey. And they're giving you the chance to win one of those 3 Vodacom United Rugby Championships jerseys each week for the entire month of Feb. All you got to do is reply to the competition post on our Facebook, Twitter or Instagram pages and tell us who is your favourite South African rugby player and why.
Absolutely. Don't forget to use the hashtag #ExperienceRedUnlockMore. This competition, however, closes on Thursday, the 17th of February, tomorrow at 10 a.m. Definitely get on it. Terms and conditions can be found on expressoshow.com. We still have so much more of your Feel Good Breakfast Show coming up.
Switch to Red and unlock a free rugby jersey. Get this great Samsung deal for only 1,299 Rand per month. Further together, Vodacom.
Summer is as endless as you want it to be this getaway season with your Marriott Bonvoy Stay Longer on Us promotional offer. Get 20% or more off standard room rates when you stay 3 nights or longer at participating Marriott hotels across this magnificent land of ours. To find the participating Marriott hotels at your dream destination and just how good things get when you stay longer on us. Book now on emea.marriott.com.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to it. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso live here on S3. Now, we were chatting earlier on and throughout the morning about how life sometimes and often can get so busy very quickly. And that's why we rely on those loved ones around us to keep us together, right?
This is what it's all about. I mean, and that's why we want to find out from you. Who are you grateful for in your family? And we asked you to use that hashtag Expresso Show. So let's have a little bit of a read. We've got Teresa here who says, good morning, fam. Good morning, Teresa. Definitely my twin brother. He's very supportive and always have my best interests at heart. He is the pillar of my strength, always there for me when I need him. Always. We heard you, Teresa.
I love it.
Shout out to brothers.
No, listen, twin brothers in particular, I can imagine are even extra special. It's that connection. You got Shireen Abrams saying good morning to the team. Happy Wednesday. My husband and daughter, to have them in my life is a blessing, and I am thankful to God who makes it all possible. A shout out to Palesa and Tumi, my 2 favorite ladies from Afternoon Express. It's lovely to have them both gracing our screens this morning. Have a super day, team. I love this entire crew. you.
And we love you, Shireen. Funny enough, we actually touched base with her yesterday on Afternoon Express.
Oh.
We read out her social media comments, and you're always sending so much love. So shout out to you. So glad to have you joining us. But we have got more music.
Yes, we do. Mallory has gone absolutely nowhere. You are in for a treat. G-Man, what's happening?
Yep, Mallory Jane and this incredible jazz quintet are here to perform just for you, and this one is perfectly apt right now. It is A New Day. Take it away.
Close my eyes, looking out from this place where we find ourselves, wondering what tricks you got left up your sleeve. I know that I am naive, but I'm trying to see the way things could still be. I guess I was hoping for a new day. Guess I was just trying to find a new way. Now I'm trying to see things differently from how they used to be. I guess I was hoping for a new day. You came, took me by surprise, left me with that look in my eyes, a fixate of unsurety. I feel the pressure on me tight, there's no more place to hide, expose all my insecurity. I guess I was hoping for a new day. Guess I was just trying to find a new way. Now I'm trying to see things differently from how they used to be. I guess I was open for a new day.
Stop, guys. You can carry on playing. Please, just carry on. Absolutely beautiful. It was like there were like little hidden songs within the songs within the song. Best part about that performance, watching you show groove appreciation to each other. Absolutely beautiful, guys. Thank you so much. They aren't going anywhere. One more performance coming from Mallory Jane and her unbelievable team behind us today. You can let us know what you thought of that performance on our social media platforms. We'd love to hear from you. We'll see you in a sec.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We're jamming into another installment of the Culinary Hotline Bling.
Ting, ting, ting.
It's all about gearing you up and inspiring you as you step into the kitchen. We've got our resident head chef, it's Chef Clem, who's here to answer any of your kitchen conundrums. And this morning, we've also got a special guest. It's Trish Chikatilo, who joins us this morning. Pavlova is your favorite,
Pavlova
Trish?
is my thing. I can't make it.
What is your question around
but it's
it?
my thing.
So there's two types, right?
Yeah.
There's the one that's dry, that you want that all dry right the way through. Then you get the one that's slightly chewy in the center. So, okay, so the trick with the one that's slightly chewy in the center is to use a little bit of corn flour, okay? And it makes all the difference. The cooking and drying out technique also slightly different. We're gonna do the dry one now, but we're gonna make sure that you'll get all the recipes to make sure you can make everything.
Is it quicker to make the more drier one than the sort of softer one?
It's not.
Which one is quicker? Because I'm looking for the most
convenient, of course.
The most convenient one is this one, which I say this is the all dry one because it's like, you actually want to dry it out. That's the thing.
Perfect.
So it starts off with egg whites. And I love this ratio because it doesn't have to be your freshest. It actually works better with the egg that's a little bit older. It's like a week old. So what you want to do is take it out the fridge. You want to have all your ingredients as close to room temperature as possible. Now, I say that, but the other ingredients are actually going to be sugar and egg whites. So here we go. So we started already. I'm going to give you the electric hand mixer. If you don't have an electric hand mixer, it's fine. You can do it at home. It's just going to
take a while. And build your arms.
And you know what you want to do for the bros out there? Change arms. Just you don't want to be having one strong arm.
One bicep.
One bicep. No, so change arms. So I'm going to hand over to you, Trish. And you're going to see we've just kind of started forming these softer peaks. They just kind of start falling as you lift it up. So you're going to do that. And Tabiso's going to gradually...
am I also getting involved?
Here you go.
Oh, fair.
You're going to gradually add the sugar.
Teamwork, darling.
Okay. So now, I mean, Trish, you're not allowed in your kitchen. Where are you planning to put all of these skills, to use?
Darling, the thing is, there's always a second stomach for pudding, so I'm allowed to make puddings.
Okay.
As you can tell by my slender physique, I make a lot of pudding.
Well, we all love pudding.
Love.
Exactly.
So the thing about... I'm going to have to shout a little bit, but the thing no, it's fine. The thing about pavlova is that besides just layering it and adding your favorite ingredient toppings to it, you can also break it up and make like a take on an eat and miss, which is really good because you don't need a lot of meringue, and again, it's a good way to like
make it look big.
Make it go further. Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look at that. So what you want to do is, I'm going to show what's happening now. It's starting to become a little shinier, okay? When you're done, it's going to be extremely glossy, okay?
Which is a good look.
It's a good look. But there's also another way to make sure that you've added enough into your egg whites and enough sugar, and that's to tip the bowl over your head.
Welcome.
Okay, look, the thing is, I don't need to do the experiment now because I can tell we're not there. So first of all, what you're gonna do, check the color, okay? Second of all, take your finger, you're gonna do this with me. And just kind of rub the meringue between your finger. Can you feel that we don't have any more grit of the sugar?
So how does it feel? Is it
you know what?
It's smooth.
I can't explain it. You're going to have to feel it. We've all sanitized, washed our hands. We're all good.
I'll do this.
Okay?
Okay, so it's not sticky. It's not supposed to be sticky.
What we're looking for is we don't want to feel any more of the sugar granules.
Okay.
That's what we're looking for. So we're going to keep on whipping. And you're going to see, it will become extremely glossy. You'll see the difference. It'll also be extremely thick, like I said. You'll be able to hold it over your head. You don't have to do that, but that's fun. Just take your spatula and kind of just hold it and just see what texture you're working with. So, we've got our pavlova, goes into the oven, right? It also goes in at a nice and low temperature. And depending on the crunchy versus the slightly chewy, you can actually let your pavlova cool in the oven, all right? If your pavlova cracks, don't cry. because we've made cream,
Yeah.
and you just use that cream or whatever your filling is going to be to fill the cracks, okay? So
you then make an eat and mess in that way.
I'm telling you, eat and mess for me is I prefer having pavlova broken up into eat and mess because it's a lot of sugar in one big base. When you cut through it, you have to get through all the layers, but it's still like a chunk of sugar. In the eat and mess, it's all incorporated with everything else, and there's balance. So, cream. And you can totally play around with this. Can I use your spatula there? Of course. You can use, if you want a more tangy flavor, add something like a creme fraiche to the cream as well, and then vanilla. So you got a slightly sharper flavor, and that helps cut through all that sugar and that sweetness.
Vanilla here.
Vanilla can go into the cream. And you can, yeah.
And then, well, I suppose you don't need the sugar, any more sugar.
No. Oh, okay. Just make sure you add all your sugar to your pavlova when you make it.
Okay. Be generous with the sweet factor.
Okay, no, I like that. So, okay, the fillings that you can add to your pavlova, that's completely like, if you just want chocolate, add chocolate. You want fruit, add fruit. You can go crazy with it, which I absolutely love.
It's nice.
You don't waste your egg yolks because you can make a beautiful custard, and that can be your first layer that goes into your pavlova. So, no wastage, no wastage. And again, like I said, it's a really great way to use your eggs that are not the freshest,
and reuse them. What's the lifespan of a good pavlova after you've made it?
I love that you asked that question. If you make a pavlova and you dry it out properly, you take all the moisture out. Moisture is an enemy when it comes to preserving things or keeping things fresh. You take all that moisture out, you put that in a bag, you can pop that into a cupboard without getting cracked, nice and safe space. It can be there for like months.
Yes.
I mean, probably, like, it would probably be years, but I think the texture's going to start changing because there's moisture in the air, it's not getting chewy.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you keep it locked tight with no air getting in there, it'll keep for like 6 months, maybe even longer. That's
good.
Which I think is great. So when you do make pavlovas, just make a batch and just stack them somewhere safely and you're good to go.
And think about December.
December.
Make it now for the festive season.
But as we know with Trish, every day is a good reason to celebrate and have pudding.
And she will finish the entire pavlova. Without sharing with Bruno Shikatelli.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I make one for myself and one for the rest of the family.
There we go. You should do that. Just do that. And then just decorate however you want. You can do like some fruit purees. You can do fresh fruit. Whatever's in season. That's why I absolutely love pavlovas. And if you wanted to get a little more advanced, check out the Taste website. We can actually see how we made brown sugar meringue pavlovas. And then we actually did chocolate ones and nut-based ones. So once you master this guy, you can just move on to the rest of them and then you'll be a winner.
Trish, I need to see you in action. If you could just help with the decorating there.
Yeah, let's see.
If I can have a knife.
There you go.
Thank you, kind sir.
And you can also play around texture. Don't just take the tops off.
Okay.
Chop them up, slice them up, do whatever you want.
Okay.
And if you want it to be better, do extra layers. So do your fruit puree under your cream.
And I see there we've got the strawberries. What else is on our finished product? What else have we layered on there?
What we did was took a little bit of a beautiful strawberry jam, and it's a chunky type. Just extra flavor in there, more flavor of strawberries, and that's in there.
And it looks pretty too.
Do you want to try it?
I will try it. I mean, I thought that Trish might want to take it home.
No.
But
you and try it. So what we
with my weight.
No, you can. It's a special occasion.
No,
okay. So what you're gonna do? You can actually grab a piece of it. So what we did was this one. We kind of went the route of eat and mess crossed with a normal pavlova, where we kind of smashed it as you put it down on the plate, and then layered everything. Please try.
I love the crunch. The crunch is the magic of it all, right? Oh my word. You see, this is the sort of thing that when you really think of indulgence, you've got to be tapping into this. This is really nice. Good question. I'm glad you've got me this as well. Clem, this is really fantastic. Thank you very much for this.
No, thank you. And Trish, it was so much fun having in the kitchen.
You are fantastic. Listen, Expresso
with my mouth full. That's exactly what I've always wanted. Thank you.
I love that. ExpressoShow.com for the recipe. But of course, for all of the taste inspiration, go on to taste.co.za to check out all the many other ways that you can bring your pavlova to life.
Cheers. Thank you very much for having me.
It looks like just enough for the rest of us as well. Thank you, team. Keep the pavlova coming, or the eaten mess. We don't care what you want to call it. All right, so it's been 2 days officially since Valentine's Day, and I hope that everyone is still feeling nicely loved up. Whether you're single, with someone, however you played your Valentine's Day out, hopefully it was a good one. But maybe if you are in a relationship, maybe your partner spent way too much money when they were buying you a gift. And this raises an interesting conundrum. question, something I'm going to put to you guys right now. And especially if you know that your partner spent money that they don't actually have. As nice as it is receiving something nice, okay, I can see this is going to create a moment here. So I'm going to give you a scenario, ladies, and I'm going to ask you to please give me your most honest opinion.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a bit of a would you rather, okay? Take A or B. So on Valentine's Day, your partner spoiled you, but went completely overboard and spent way too much money on a super expensive gift. Would you rather A, have a tough conversation about spending habits and return it? B, it's Valentine's Day, so I guess it's okay. You can keep it.
How honest?
Yeah,
Before I say anything.
Ooh, okay. Did you either of you get a really expensive gift for Valentine's Day? I don't think you. Oh, kind of. Okay, you are qualified.
Not really expensive, but I mean, it's nothing you buy every day. Trust me, you save up. Do you know who I am?
Do you know her?
Okay, so to me, you looked like you were about to say something quite explosive there. What's your issue with this statement?
That Valentine's is a very special day. So is there really overboard? But given that statement,
all right.
If it affects our pocket long term, like the next weekend or the next 2 weekends, and now I can't afford to eat because of this expensive gift that's staring me in the face.
Would you be cross with your significant other for doing that?
I'm not sure about returning it, because is it something that was thoughtful, or is it just something
there were two
Because I'm also like, don't spend money just to show that you've got money on. You know, Valentine's Day is about the heart, about the emotion, not necessarily about the money. Yeah.
I'd probably keep it. But if it was just a thoughtless money throwing in the air, just giving you a gift, take that back and let's go buy groceries.
But would you have that hard conversation? Because that's part of it.
That's another thing. I think yes. I think
you would. You strike me as the kind of person who would definitely.
Let's have a talk.
We
need to talk, though.
Come here, let's talk. No, turn that off. Come, let's talk.
Yeah.
Pali?
On my side, I mean, look, Valentine's Day is once a year. At the end of the day. And I'm not here for everyone saying we should celebrate love every day. It's Valentine's Day every day. The question is, on this one day of the year,
how much am I worth
to you? Definitely keep it. I would definitely keep it. I would turn a blind eye. I would keep it. But then I'd also pay attention to his habits. I mean, if it becomes a habit, I'd definitely say something. But I mean, guys, come on.
I feel like you've been talking for a long time to justify the fact that you've kept the expensive gift. But it's your right. It is. Okay, well, I suppose it's that one day. But then you also get your birthday, and then you get Christmas, and then you get your anniversary, and then crazy. Well, let's see. Okay, the ladies have got very clear ideas. Let's see what you guys had to say on our social media platforms. I'm going to dive right in and start with a message from Rukaya, who says, hey, always try to stick to a budget, so rather have that conversation. Tough like to me. Nick Lombard saying, Defose, have that tough conversation with him. Less money spending and more out-of-the-box thinking. Less is more. That's definitely the route that I took. Zeka saying, B, there is nothing wrong in being spoiled once in a while. It'll enrich your relationship.
Hallelujah.
She's gone the Pali route. I like that. Sharon saying A, Navona saying B, Queen saying A, have a tough conversation about spending habits. You guys really are quite a tough market, okay? But it seems like most people are trying to be responsible.
You know what I think it is? I think the last 2 years have made people very, very careful of spending. People have been very alert about how they spend their monies, because you never know. And that also is kind of bad, because now you basically aren't living your life to the fullest, because you're like, what if? You know?
Okay, look, our viewers,
the rest of us aren't, but Pali's fine.
I'm always living my life. I'm always living my life. But now that I've seen what South Africa has to say, I'm kind of swayed. Let's be responsible.
Man, I think the key thing is have that chat with your partner before Valentine's Day and kind of know the scope. But it's always nice to treat and spoil the ones that we love. Ultimately, that can't come at the expense of your bottom line. So a little bit of discipline, better money choices, and maybe, yes, the odd tough conversation in those early days will undoubtedly pay dividends in the long run. So if you've got a financial goal that you are working towards, stick to that plan. Don't be tempted by those small or beautiful things in life from making those better money choices. Your future self, and Pali will certainly thank you for it.
Don't just buy. Look out for specials. Do you want a bank that takes your money, or a bank that takes your money choices seriously? Join Nedbank today.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to the Expresso show. Now, no, you do not have to reset your televisions. You're not seeing things. I've been guest presenting from the top of the show. My name is Balisa Dembe, and what a pleasure it's been to just spend the morning with you. But we are not done. We still have an explosive performance left. Millory Jane is on the Expresso stage for the final time this morning and is certainly ending the show off with a bang. This song is entitled Mr. Tswai, and it's got a very special message. Take it away.
This month, say it with flavor, taste, and aroma, so they'll know it was made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.